Oh, no.
The fuck?
Yeah, I pushed the wrong button. There we are.
There we go.
I thought I pushed the right button. Oh, no, I pushed the... Okay.
Did you push the Spotify button?
No, I pushed the webcam button. I have a third... Where is it? Oh, it's over there. I have a third webcam that I just don't ever use. And I had it set up because I was thinking I was going to use it at some point, but...
I was going to say, you have like... Jesus, you have like a reasonably priced vehicle worth of video and audio equipment in here. I don't think a webcam is necessary for you.
Well, so the webcam I actually got hella cheap. Like, I found it at Goodwill for like a really good price. And so I was like, dude, this is like a standard webcam, so I have to buy this. It's a Logitech C920, which I hear all the gamers use. And so I was like, dude, and it was like $20.
The gamers, not the e-thoughts.
I don't know. Gamers typically, they used to use it when they stream on like Twitch and shit. They use this Logitech C920. Although a lot of people are starting to use DSLRs, which is what we're doing.
Well, I mean, they're coming down in price reasonably.
What, DSLRs?
Yes.
Are they? Well, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Anyways,
what
are you doing, man?
Kind of sitting here, enjoying beer with one of my twin fillet. What are you doing?
Angle that thing towards your face. All you got to do is turn it. Yes. Grab it. That's good. I think
this is
the
what
level's
happens when you get two fucking sailors in fucking one room and big black thing in their face.
This is a veteran edition. I titled it. Look at that. It says episode 19 veteran edition.
I don't know if we could really call it a veteran edition. I mean, like,
you're not technically a veteran yet.
I know. I get enough shit from Alicia because, like, I'll go to Lowe's and I'll park in the veteran spots.
Do you really? I mean, you might as well, right? That's what it's for.
They're always open.
Right. Who checks that? Right? Like, nobody's checking IDs.
I'll tell you, when I worked at Lowe's,
Did you check that shit?
No, they don't give a flying fuck about what goes in the parking lot. What they care about more is that the employees are not allowed to smoke in their vehicles.
Interesting. Very interesting. And it doesn't matter where you park.
Well, it does. Like, if you've ever been to Lowe's, you notice how, like, 2/3 of the way down the parking lot, there's, like, a yellow line.
No, I never noticed that.
Yeah, so the parking spots, like, just one of the rows will randomly have yellow lines. You know, it'll go straight across the parking lot. Employees are supposed
to park behind the line.
Yeah, farther past that line, like, out in the boonies, so that the customers can have the good parking.
Interesting. My dad probably knows about that shit. Because my dad worked for Lowe's for a long time.
I don't care. I parked, like, when I worked there for all of, like, the 3 months I did, I parked over by the GameStop. So when I gave us like a 15-minute
that's a bit
break,
of a walk.
Yeah. Well, it's like 2 minutes.
Right.
But I would step. You okay there, bro?
Yeah, my thing was underneath the table, and I don't want to lean on the table. Like, I'm just trying to.
But you're leaning on the table now.
I'm trying to get comfortable. Well, I didn't want to lean on it to adjust my weight. You know, it's one of those clear, or not clear. It's like a hollow fucking. It's a hollow IKEA desk. It's bowing because there's so much weight on here right now.
Well, those speakers are fucking godly. So.
They are. Oh, I love those speakers.
So now I'd park over by the GameStop, which is, you know, it was like a 3-minute trek.
Yeah.
And so I'd walk out for 3 minutes. They loved me there, so they didn't care if I was a couple minutes late coming back.
Sure.
I'd go sit over by the GameStop, have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Message Alicia a little bit, my wife. And then I walk back. Because I wasn't in the Lowe's parking lot. What are they going to yell at me?
No, they're not going to yell at you. They don't care. Plus, you're a veteran.
A veteran who's about to sign away 6 more fucking years.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. Couple of weeks. Wait, that puts you at 16.
Yep, just over 16.
Dude, you're almost there.
The re-enlistment will take me to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was my 10-year anniversary of signing my life away again. Thank you. To the never again volunteer yourself branch of the armed forces.
Now, you can't talk too much shit because if somebody sees it, the Navy might get upset.
All right. To clarify, for
Just remember OPSEC.
OPSEC, the opinions and views that I express here are of my own thought and in no way reflect that of the U.S. Navy.
Perfect.
Fucking the thing they tell us to put on like all of our social media.
Yep. Which I don't think I ever once did because I don't really post things. At least nothing controversial. At least not when I was in the Navy.
Nah,
I don't even think I do now. They're more concerned about like politics and shit like that.
Yeah,
Which everything's political now.
Everything's fucking political.
Dude. So you're excited. You're re-enlisting.
Yes.
You feel good about it.
I will tell to the, what are we at, 3 listeners?
Yeah, dude, this is a record.
Hello, 3 listeners.
One of them might be your wife.
I'm guaranteeing one is Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
Hey, love. I love what I do.
Yeah, it's a cool fucking job.
For the people who are listening, the mod viewer bot, my wife, hi, and the one other person that we don't know, please identify yourself.
It might be my parents.
It might be.
It might be somebody we don't know, which is exciting.
It's growing.
I know. That's fucking great.
I am a nuclear mechanic on submarines. I make water. I make electricity. I push the boat. That's what I do.
There you go.
There is nothing more rewarding and absolutely nothing shittier in life than being on a submarine.
Wait, nothing more rewarding and nothing shittier.
Yes.
All right, I'll buy that. Yeah. It sounds like the Navy to me.
Like, I go out.
Although, yeah, being stuck in a tube for months and months at a time.
That's not the bad part. I will tell you,
Really?
Like I've told Alicia this, I mentally disconnect
What do you
from
mean?
from everything else. Like when we go underway.
You treat it like a vacation or something?
No, not like a vacation. I mentally need to disconnect. Like I will reconnect, like if I'm reading a letter from her or if I am sending her an email or something that I can do where I can have like some of that like touch of home.
Sure.
I will reconnect with that. But I'm out there, I'm doing my job, as the Navy likes to say, I'm out there to put warheads on foreheads.
Yep.
All right.
Literally what submarines do.
Yes. Well, we haven't in a while.
OPSEC.
Haven't in a while. You can track when a submarine fires a Tomahawk. I mean, it was all over the fucking news. Was it I think the Jacksonville. I think it was the Jacksonville Blue Crew.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time Iraq and Iran got into a little bit of a tough.
Yeah.
There was fucking video footage of fucking
Dude,
salvo going off.
I think I've told you the story before. I remember one day I was at work and my job was to escort you motherfuckers down the river so that you can make it out of the river nice and safe. And we had a boat that was supposed to leave. It was like a Wednesday or something. It was no. It was the day we were working was a Wednesday, and they called us up and they said, "What are you looking at?"
Oh, there's a huge time delay. I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, there is a huge time delay.
I was sitting here like this, and I looked at the camera.
I mean,
I wasn't moving.
I can change it.
Well, now that I know that there's a time delay, I'm not going to be a fucking
I can change
idiot.
I can't do it while we're live, but you can. Right now, I have it set to normal because I don't expect a whole lot of people chatting. Right, so the chat is usually really behind if I put it on normal latency.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it just taxes the computer more. I don't want to do that. It's not worth it. Not yet. So, yeah, it was like a Wednesday. We were working, and the boat was supposed to leave. This particular submarine was supposed to leave on like a Friday.
Yep.
And they called us up, whoever it was, Group 2 or whoever, called us up and said, "Hey, boat needs to go tomorrow." And we were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever." And we put together the patrol brief. We got everything ready, and we told everybody, "Okay, we're going to be here tomorrow morning at blah, blah, blah time." And we show up at like, it was early as shit. We showed up at like 3 o'clock in the morning or some shit to get this boat underway. It sounded urgent. So we were like, all right, we'll go. And I'm pretty sure we even got out on station at the pier on our boats, weapons condition 3, ready to go. And the boat just stayed there all day, waiting. Something was wrong. I don't know what was wrong. They ended up pushing it to the next day, which is the original day it was supposed to go. Same thing. We went out. We got on station, weapons condition 3, ready to go, get this boat underway, and still something was wrong. They couldn't get underway. They pushed it all the way to Saturday. I was like, man, this boat really wants to fucking go. And then Monday rolls around. So Saturday, we come into work. We finally get the boat underway. Monday rolls around, and I'm like sitting in my office at work watching the news, and Syria got bombed to shit. And I was like, that's what it was.
No.
You don't think so?
Oh, you're not sorry. No, you're not a submariner. It takes more than 48 hours.
So I was wrong.
You were wrong.
That's awesome.
It takes more than 48 hours to get from where that boat left to where those missiles were fired from.
All right.
Now I can guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee, but there's a reasonable chance that the boat that was leaving was replacing
Was like
the
covering
boat.
down for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It was related.
yeah, like
Interesting.
like going out to, it's like, okay, you're next in line. If we need to pull that trigger again, you're the boat.
Yeah. Oh, that may have something to do with my last job, which was what did they call it? When I was in the reserves, I was on a watch floor, and we had to watch you guys go where you needed to go.
Oh, yeah.
And we would give you like a box to be in, and it probably had something to do with that.
Yes, submarines. In those boxes there are never two submarines in those boxes.
Right.
But when a submarine leaves a box,
Somebody else has to come take
someone
it.
else comes take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was part of the job. It was like you had to figure out like who's going to be where when, and like it was kind of actually really interesting when I was doing that.
It is, and like I'm not completely right into that. You know, being a nuke, I have nothing to do with ship's control, but we learn about it,
Right.
like, and we are authorized to learn about like the very basics of it, just because we're submariners.
Sure.
Well,
Well, that's what's cool about you guys. You know everything about the boat. That's how you get the dolphins.
we have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, without going into too many details,
But you can't.
I've sucked rubber for hours. for the three listeners, including my wife, sucking rubber is forced air breathing. So EAB masks hooked up to a manifold and just sitting there
Yeah.
because something happened that
EAB stands for? Somebody take his dolphins.
you tell me what it stands for, motherfucker.
I don't know. I wasn't on a submarine.
It's external air breathing.
Boom. Got it.
Sorry, you're putting me on the spot, but it's
I know. You're like, whoa, lights, blank.
it's the acronyms that we use on the boat aren't always in order. It's in what's easiest to say. Saying EBA
Yeah.
is not as easy as saying EAB.
Right.
It might not even be external air breathing. I won't lie. It's been fucking
Oh.
a while since
There's a surface version of that, right? Is that the one that you're connected to a thing in the P-way?
yeah, manifold. An air manifold.
There is a surface version of the same thing. I think. There has to be.
I don't know. The one
Anyway.
time fun little quick caveat. So submarines for our three listeners. We operate 24/7. Period.
Yep.
When we have 3 crews in 8-hour shifts. 1 crew is on watch. 1 crew is off-going. The other crew is oncoming. Oncoming time is typically sleeping. So it's some of us, depending on when the boat pulls into port, there are some people who are on they want to be up, in the midnight hours, and that's their normal sleep schedule at that point, depending on how long they've been on those hours.
Right.
So we were in a continental port, and the USS New York came in,
All right.
and we were like, "Oh, it's fucking New York City." We may have been kind of drunk. Submariners in a port, imagine that, we're drunk.
I mean, come on.
But
That
so
would be the same thing.
It's like 2,300.
Yeah.
We're drunk.
Did you see it come in?
Oh, it came in late.
Okay.
But so they were moored, they were ready. It's like, let's go tour the New York City, yeah. And so we completely fuck up the crossing the quarterdeck.
What is it, different or it's not different, right?
So it's completely different.
It's completely different. Okay. You're seeing how little I know about submarines.
So you've crossed onto the quarterdeck onto a surface ship, right?
Yeah,
right.
I've been on aircraft carriers. I was on an LCS once. Like I've been on a destroyer. I've been on. Yeah.
You walk up the bridge, hold up your ID.
Yeah.
Request permission to come aboard. This is my reason.
Yeah.
All right. We kind of have that on submarines.
You guys have like a vestibule, right?
We're a crew of 180 people.
Right.
Tops.
Right.
Like that is like the most you will ever see on a submarine. A normal crew is like 110.
On your class of submarine. On a boomer, it's more, right?
I can't speak to that.
Okay.
Everyone knows everyone. But like scanning the ID for visitors, just scanning the ID while you coming aboard.
Yeah.
Come aboard.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot more formal in the surface Navy.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of drunk submariners walking up. None of us have our IDs out.
Oh, jeez. Come on. You had to know at least that. You had to know they were going to check your ID.
Well, yeah, check our IDs. We check IDs on submarines all the time. But the whole formal process, fucking request to come aboard.
Just go back to boot camp. It's the same idea. That's why they do that.
That was 9 years ago.
Yeah,
more than that. Spent 3 months in boot camp. It has been 9.5 years ago.
Dude, I pretty much forgot how to salute. No, it's not that I forgot how to salute. It's just that I stopped saluting because in my community, we didn't salute hardly ever.
No, because when you have armed weapons, you don't want to point out, hey, that's an officer.
Right.
Because guess who's going to get fucking picked off?
Right. That, and also, I don't know, it was so relaxed. It was weird because we were very disciplined in the sense that we trained all the time. We knew our jobs. We knew everything about our gear. We knew, like, we were very well trained, but when we weren't training and we weren't on the job, it was just like a normal job. Some of us even called each other by our first names, which is slightly weird. We
don't do that on submarines unless we're on cruise mess.
Like we were going outside uncovered, that kind of shit.
Like in the submarine community, like it is the tightest knit brotherhood you will ever find.
Yeah.
Like comparable, if not more so than like Spec Ops.
Right.
Because we go down with, the old joke is 150 dudes come down, 75 couples come up. We get that close.
Hey man, get in where you fit in.
Fucking so everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
All right. It's we train hard and we play hard.
Yeah.
Like I will tell you, I have responded to multiple actual casualties underway.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying because, like you said, you're in a tube. When I'm in that tube out there and I am X feet underneath the fucking surface, you don't know. All right. Especially if you're chugging along at fucking a super slow speed. I don't know exactly what I can't say there. So
right. Yeah. Just don't be specific. Yep.
Fucking.
I mean, I'm sure a submarine goes at least 1 knot.
I think the unclassified data is like up to like 19 knots or like greater than 19 knots, whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah.
But so like if we're off pooling around, like waiting for something.
Sure.
We're not moving fast. We're really deep.
Yep.
And so you don't know you're underwater.
What do you mean you don't know you're underwater?
You don't know you're underwater.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
I mean, it's like we're sitting here.
Oh, because there's no
There's no movement.
Right, because you're underwater. If you were on the surface, you'd feel every piece of that.
Jesus Christ. I have been in like 15-foot waves on the surface.
Yeah, and
fallen out of my raft.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know. So when I got out and I was in the reserves, everybody I was with was submariners.
Yeah.
They were all sub guys. And they all would say, they were like, oh yeah, we'd go deep, and it was just like, you could be in the middle of a hurricane. You won't feel anything. All right. You're calling bullshit on that one. But still, the point is, you're underwater. You can't feel a whole lot.
It depends on how bad it is.
Yeah.
And how deep you are.
Man.
Like, you can... I have been pretty fucking deep and still felt it.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
But that being said, 99% of the time, it's quiet. It's cool. The boat's like a constant, like 60, 65 degrees, unless you're in the engine room. I'm an 88 guy. I'm not a vagina sailor. Well,
what about comms? Comms got to be pretty cold in there, right?
Comms?
Yeah. Where you keep all your comms gear, your electronics and stuff.
Do you remember my rate was?
Yeah. You never go in there? You know how many friends in there?
That's like one of the very few spots on the boat that like you need TSSCI.
Damn.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know the ventilation layouts, and I can tell you that they have like a couple of dedicated ports for a fairly small room.
Right.
So yeah,
Just to be nice and cold
for the electronics.
Yeah.
But
well, that's what they always told me. I was an electronics technician, surface electronics technician, but I never once went to a ship as a surface ET. I was in the Riverines, so it was very, very different. But I was always told stories of like everybody hated the comms guys, which was ETs. They hated us because, you know, it'd be 100 degrees outside and we'd be wearing like our fleece jackets in our offices because it's fucking cold in there because all the comms gear has to stay cold.
Oh man, like back in the engine room, like depending on where you are in the engine room. So I can safely say I'm a blue nose.
Mm-hmm.
I've been above the Arctic Circle.
Nice.
That's a fun fucking ceremony.
I bet.
Can't go and do it here, but no. Privileged ears only, motherfucker.
Damn it. Wait, does that mean you did ISEX?
No, I did not do an ISEX.
Oh man, okay. Because that's pretty public. And people do ISEXs.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not like you can hide a boat breaking through the ice above the Arctic Circle.
Well, I mean, they usually have somebody there taking pictures, and there's a press thing, and somebody, you know.
Well, yeah,
the Navy does like an official press release about it.
They get there from the boat that broke through first. See, that's the thing. The ISEX doesn't cover the first boat to break the ice during an ISEX.
That makes sense. Wait, there's always two of them? I always thought that. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. They got to take the pictures of the one coming up.
Yes.
How else are you going to get there?
Big brain time.
Man. Fucking nukes, man.
So, like, there were parts of the engine room because, you know, we were above the Arctic Circle.
Right.
There's a couple parts of the engine room that are still 100 degrees. And then there are parts of the engine room that are about 35 degrees.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you're surrounded by fucking seawater.
Yeah.
Salt water at that.
Yeah.
All right. It doesn't freeze down below 28 degrees.
No.
So you have, you know, cold ass fucking water surrounding the boat.
But you're insulated, right? Does it got a heater? Turn the heat on.
The heaters don't do shit.
Damn it. There's pretty good insulation though, right?
No.
I would think there'd be amazing insulation.
I remember when we were up there sitting on one of our lube oil sumps.
Yeah.
That was, you know, in use. So it was hot.
Yeah.
Because warm oil lubricates better than cold oil.
Sure.
Nice toasty, like 100. I'm just gonna say over 100 degrees.
Standing there,
just
warm.
fucking sitting on it, like
sitting on it,
sitting next to one of the pumps. So you got the ventilation from the fucking pecker heads and the motor itself, like blowing off on you. Just
trying to stay warm.
This is comfy.
Did you sleep there that night? I bet you did.
Oh, you do not sleep in an engine room,
Oh
shipmate.
man. It's warm though.
Do not sleep in the engine room.
I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about. Yo, in my time, I slept anywhere I could, and sometimes that meant with 50 cal machine gun fire going off in the background. Sleep.
I won't say that's an incorrect answer. I'm just saying you don't sleep in the engine room.
Okay, wait. Bring it back. So you're under the water and you disconnect.
Yeah.
That's where we started. Can you believe that? That's where we started.
This is how it goes every time. Every time you and I talk.
That's true. The only difference is there's no fire right now. So
And we're not smoking.
right. So it's you disconnect and you do this on purpose. Now, what exactly are you talking about when you disconnect? Like I said something about a vacation because like every time I would go to like a 3-month school or something,
it's not a vacation.
almost like a vacation, but like
See,
you don't have to worry about anything. You have to worry about your bills. You don't have to worry about.
Well, see, I still have to worry about that. And luckily I have an amazing wife at home that would take care of all of that.
Right.
But
Yeah, but you're not like paying your T-Mobile bill
right.
fucking hundreds of feet or whatever underneath the ocean. Like
I would hope not. That might be a fucking issue. It's like, ding, you've received your payment from the fucking Bering Straits.
yeah.
Fuck. No, so it's, and a lot of the guys do it. You have to.
Well, yeah, because you're not communicating
You're not communicating.
regularly or whenever you want or.
So my first deployment, I was lucky enough to be in an area where we had fairly regular communication. Like I would receive an email from my wife, sometimes once or twice a day, sometimes every other day.
Is that? I understand that the frequency is probably classified, and it probably depends on what you're doing. But for those people who don't know, a submarine has to surface, right? You can say that.
In what context?
You got to be able to get closer to the surface in order to be able to send and receive signals.
No,
All right, I'm wrong.
you are.
God damn it. I'm just going to stop talking. I don't know anything.
So,
My point is, though, it's very infrequent.
it really depends on what you were doing, where you are, like the mission status that you're on.
Right.
So yeah, I would mentally disconnect. Like I would have my things that would remind me of her. It was one of my things. I would write. I had a journal that I kept underway,
Cool.
and every night I would write my wife a letter.
That's fucking awesome.
And that
So you like create a routine for yourself?
yeah, I would create a routine, and that would be when I would allow myself to reconnect.
Oh, wow. So every like 24-hour cycle.
I would allow myself like an hour or so of thinking about home.
Right.
Because it's what we do is incredibly safe.
Yeah.
But if something goes wrong, I mean, just look at that. It was the Indonesian submarine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least the unclassified reports that I've seen on it have been that they hit essentially an underwater wave.
That's it?
And it pushed them below test depth.
Whoa.
And so,
Crunch.
it's crush depth.
Yeah.
But so, a submarine, all submarines have essentially like a safe depth that
Right.
they can go to.
Sure.
And then they have a depth that they should be able to survive going to.
If my math is correct, depth, right? One of those.
No, it's there's within our 99th percentile tolerances.
Okay.
Like all of the testing that we do, because I mean, you're surrounded by water.
Yeah.
There's only so much testing you can do on welds, on piping, on all of the exterior
Until
surfaces.
you put it under an actual test.
Until you put it under an actual test.
Right.
And so submarines have that depth.
Right.
And that is what's called test depth.
Okay.
Right. You can safely go to test depth. And that is the goal. Is that you can go there over and over and over and over
with no problems.
with no problems.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that is outside of that scope where you have to do extra testing because you may have actually, like, on a microscopic level, done something to one of the welds. And so
that puts you in a state of, you literally have to compartmentalize. All right, I got 15, 20 minutes to think about life outside this submarine. And for the rest of this 24-hour period, I have to concentrate because if something goes wrong, I need to be able to react.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we had spent a day where we had done some drills, which is us just running through, casualty scenarios and just events that could happen on the boat.
Right.
And we were done with it. And we're just sitting there and we're getting ready. We're finishing up, cleaning up ship. And, we were fire. They list off and they run it off. And I had a buddy who was with me that I'm still friends with to this day. And I look at him and he looks at me and he's like, shit, this isn't the drill.
Yeah, we just finished. Right?
And so we drop what we were doing. And like when you're on surface ships, you have crews that are meant to fight casualties.
Right. I remember hearing this in boot camp. Well, I mean,
DC men.
Yeah. But everybody's a firefighter on a ship.
Everyone's a firefighter
Right.
on a ship. No.
Doubly so on a submarine.
No, it's not just firefighters. Like, I am actually trained. Like, I have been through actual trainers to fight, like, Class Delta fires.
Right, because you don't have any room for DC men.
No, it's mechanics, nuclear mechanics, and A-gangers. Like, on 90% of submarines, they are what make up the DC task force.
That makes sense.
We're strong, we're smart, but we're stupid. All right. Oh, hey, that pipe is leaking water at an excessive rate and we need to fucking put a piece of wood in it to stop it? Okay. I'm your guy.
Wood in hole.
Yes, exactly. Wooden fucking hole. And so I am trained to fight fires. I am trained to combat flooding casualties.
Yeah.
The mechanics on submarines, whether they be TMs, A-gangers, or nukes, make up essentially the DC men.
That makes sense.
And so it was, and we have our own firefighting gear. We have our own hoses that are on board.
So when shit goes down, you know exactly where you're going to go to get your gear to fight this fire.
When that word went off,
depending on where the fire is.
When that word went off over the 2MC, that fucking 4-letter word that starts with an F that isn't fuck. All right. The entire boat, in a matter of seconds, responds.
Nice.
And that is because training for one, and two, we are fighting not only for our lives, but for the lives of our shipmates.
Yeah.
All right. That is what the dolphins mean.
Yeah.
In the submarine community.
I mean,
not, like, I could give a shit. Like, I've sat dolphin boards. I've done fucking qual interviews. Yeah. Understanding the systems, understanding, like, how, like, if you need to remove a toxic gas casualty on a submarine, if you need to like ventilate a certain compartment because there was a fuego.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Understanding that is fine. All right. What I care about on a ship's board when I was doing the qualifications was, do I trust you to save me?
Yeah, it's the same thing that we had with my community. You know, it's like, we're not going to give you part of our qualification was being able to shoot, manipulate, fix, repair.
God, that's on fucking camera, isn't it?
What?
I'm a fucking slob.
Oh, yeah. So part of my job was to shoot, repair, fix, you know, a machine gun and operate a machine gun. Also driving a boat. Also, you know, all the other tactics involved.
Here, I got one for you.
What is that?
I don't know. At least you picked it up one today.
Oh. That looks awesome.
My wife is amazing in the way she picks out for me.
I mean, we've done 2 episodes with her. So, but it's the same thing. Like, I've I've trained people that were trying to get their qualifications, and it was the same thing. It was like, dude, I don't trust that you can operate this machine gun and get it back up if something goes wrong. You get a jam. Like, if I don't trust that you can do this, then essentially I don't trust you with my life. Because if we're in a firefight, I need to know that you can operate that thing. And if something bad happens to that gun, you need to get it up in a fucking flurry so that we're all safe. And it's just, it's the same thing. It's like, dude, if you can't do your job, then I can't trust you. I need to trust you with my life.
And that is the biggest thing. Like, all right, we're going to go on to a slightly sensitive topic. And again, I'm going to preface this with, these are my opinions, my own opinions. These are not the opinions of the Navy. These are not the opinions of any of the armed forces branches. These are my own personal opinions.
Noted.
I am okay with women on submarines as long as they are held to the exact same standard that I'm held to.
Yeah.
But they're not.
What do you mean they're not?
The PFA standards are different. You know that.
Well, yeah. It's been like that forever, though.
You're right. It has been like that. I mean, look at the incident when they first started allowing the first female SEAL. How was it?
It's good. It's not as...
The oak really balances the target.
It really does. I was going to say, it's not as tart as it could be, and I think it might be because of the oak. Well, you got beef against the PFA standards being different?
No, but quick shout out to my wonderful wife, Alicia, for picking me up. Gozes are red by the brewery. Fantastic beer. Highly recommend it to anyone who is listening.
Brewery, is this a Wisconsin brand?
It is not. I think the brewery is out of California.
Because it's spelled like Wisconsin Brewers, isn't it?
No.
Isn't that how they spell it?
Am I really going to nerd out and be right that this is fucking California?
I'm looking.
Yeah. Placentia, California. I've heard quite a few things by the brewery.
It's good.
Not as good as by Abomination, by the way. Abomination has some fantastic double IPAs. Anything wandering into the fog, fantastic. But
wait. So you got beef against the PFA standards now? What's the deal?
No, I have no beef against the PFA standards.
Okay.
I have beef with there being a difference in the PFA standards for a woman who is expected to save me. So, like, if...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I have absolutely no qualms with a woman being on a submarine.
Right.
Well, a little bit, but that's just more because, like, I think boys should be boys. You need a little bit of fucking grabassery underway just to fucking blow off some steam.
It's a bonding thing. I get it.
It's a bonding thing.
And there is a line that can be crossed.
There's definitely a line that can be crossed. All right. Hazing is completely inappropriate.
It is.
That being said, some of the things that they are classifying as hazing and classifying as inappropriate.
It's a gray line.
It's a very gray line.
It's to be sure, because, like, you can walk in on a group of sailors, then you can go, whoa, they're fucking hazing each other. But then again, it's like everybody's having a good time. Even the person that's going through it is having a good time. Like there was a what do they call it? Crossing the line ceremonies on surface ships. Like, they used to be really bad. They've since toned them back. There's this like push and pull between what's okay, what's not okay. The ceremony has to go down. It's tradition.
It's tradition. And I will tell you,
But there is a line that can be crossed.
There is a line that can be crossed.
Then again, we have to push that line. It has to be a little embarrassing. It has to be a little uncomfortable. It has to be, because that's part of the bonding experience.
That's part of the bonding experience. It's part of the tradition. I will tell you, when I went through the Blue Nose ceremony.
And as long as it's not done through malice and everybody knows that they're safe, that's, I think, the difference.
But in the eyes of Big Navy, it's not.
Right, exactly, because they can't take that risk.
But so look at the incidents with the first female SEALs.
There hasn't been one yet.
There
right?
has.
They've made it past. Last thing I heard, I think somebody made it past like the buds at Annapolis, right? Like if she was an officer and she was supposed to go to Buds, she made it past that. I don't know if she actually
No, they've
went to
even made it on
Buds.
the enlisted side now.
Oh, really?
The problem is essentially, long and short, and this is, you can Google all this, it's 100% true. They didn't want to fail her for physical standards because what the SEALs did it the right way. She had the exact same physical standard that all of the men had.
Yeah.
And that's because, if you have to carry a 250-pound dude out of a combat zone,
Yeah.
you have to carry a 250-pound dude out of a combat zone.
Bro, have you ever been through TCCC? TCCC is Tactical Combat Casualty Care. I went through TCCC a couple times, and
Yep.
part of my training was to drag a motherfucker in full kit, body armor, weapon, everything, like 50 yards. I had to drag this guy. I had to drag him. I had to do like a fireman's carry. I had to like 2-person carry this guy. Shouts out to James Abrams. But like, that motherfucker was heavy, and he wasn't a big dude. He's shorter than me, but he probably weighed as much or about at least as much as I did, 180, 200 pounds. That's fucking hard. And I'm 6'4", 180 something pounds. Like, it's hard to drag a motherfucker.
And I did the same thing when I went through my firefighting training. One of the things that I had to do, I only had to drag him about 30 to 40 feet.
It sucks.
It was either 185 or a 200-pound dummy in full FFE,
yeah.
in a full SCBA tank.
Right. That's pretty much like body armor and all that jazz.
All right. About 250 pounds.
It sucks.
All right. I dragged him. All I had to do was drag him 40 feet. And I fucking got him out of there because I'll tell you, they have fucking the trainer. It's fucking hot. There's actual fire. All right. They put you
Your
in
legs were burning.
Yes. And I tweaked my back pretty bad.
Yep.
But I got him out of there. All right. I don't want anyone on my submarine that can't do that with anyone else. Again, my opinion. My opinion.
Man, that's hard. That's hard. Because, I mean, even if you kept it all one gender, there's going to be that tiny dude who just can't grab and pull the biggest dude. It's just, you know what I mean?
Well, and there are some exceptions. All right. Like, you're not going to, I can't say every dude, every person should be able to
It's
carry
hard.
the biggest dude.
That was kind of my
But
point, was like, James, so Abrams, he was awesome. Awesome guy. But if he's listening, hopefully. But he's an awesome dude. He's about my size. He's a little shorter than me. He probably weighs about the same as I do. And I was like, dude, this is hard. It's hard. Even for somebody that's about the same. And they tried to pair us up so that, it wasn't like some tiny little dude was, yeah. So like, it's fucking hard. Even with somebody about your same size, it's difficult, man. So like, yeah. And we can talk about that till the cows come home. I mean, the differences between the physiological differences between men and women.
Right. I think
it is a thing on some level.
I think though, like there was a talk for a while where the Navy wanted to do essentially specialized PFAs. So if you were on a submarine versus a surface ship versus, LHPs, LHDs, your PFA would differ.
Would they still keep it gender specific?
I don't know. I don't know that much.
Right, like if you're a female on a surface ship, maybe you got to do 50 push-ups. But if you're
17,
is it 17? I don't know what it is. It depends on how old you are too.
Sorry, if they're 30, it's 16.
I don't know.
I don't know that exact number, but it's.
Actually, I never paid attention to the numbers because I was always concerned about my numbers. But so you're saying and then maybe like if you're we'll go with 50 just because that's a round number. So if you're female and you're going to a surface ship, you got to be able to do 50. But if you're female and you're going to a submarine, you got to do like 75 or something. Is that what they were thinking about doing?
No, they wanted to essentially specialize the PFAs. So if you were on a submarine, I will tell you, guys on subs were not the most like physically fit specimens.
Right.
That being said, I'm not saying this because we're fat. I'm saying this just because we don't have, on my boat, there was a treadmill. A single solitary treadmill. There were 2 sets of weight blocks and some resistance bands. All right, when you're on a 6-7 month deployment, when you have that many people trying to share the workout gear.
Yeah. It's just,
But that being said, so like surface ships, you need the cardio aspect would be a little bit more highly weighted because carriers are fucking huge.
yeah, they are.
All right, but one of the things they were talking about specifically for submarines would be a fireman's carry or a drag
Which is
of
hard.
an average size person.
It's a hard thing to do.
All right.
Yeah.
I was so in support of that.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's practical.
It's a practical PFA. It's not saying, oh, look, I'm part of the 3 mile a year club. It's no, I can help my shipmates.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what it should be.
But it's not.
It's not. Because they got to make it
my
accessible.
opinions, not official Navy standards.
Right.
These are my opinions.
Yeah.
My opinions only.
I mean, we had something similar in my community. It was you had to pass a second class swim qual. That was one thing that you had to do. You had to pass a second class swim qual, which makes sense. You fall off the boat, you need to be able to swim.
We don't need to do that on submarines.
Yeah. But that was it. That was like the only other physical requirement other than the standard PFA was just you got to pass a second class swim qual.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on fucking small boats, fucking zipping up and down the river.
Right.
I mean, I've seen them just do out and do fucking donuts in the middle of the river.
It's nuts.
Not supposed to.
Well,
I won't talk about what happened when they were fucking doing donuts in the middle of the fucking river.
what part of the river? That's the question.
Right by the Artem.
Artem?
The floating dry dock.
Oh, that's what you guys call it? Artem?
Well, that's the name of it. It's the Artem 4.
Yeah, we just called it dry dock.
While there was a boat in it.
Really?
And a crane next to it.
Were there divers?
No, but can you imagine what happens when you have one of those little boats sending out their
Was
weight?
that us or was it base security?
No, it was the fucking Riverines.
I don't know. I can't speak to what they're doing now. Anyway,
All right, so going back.
let's bring it back.
Bring it back.
You check out.
I check out.
You check out.
And I have to.
For what? You're like your own sanity?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I
don't know, because like when I'm at work, I need to stay in frame. When I was at work in the Navy, it was such a, I mean, even though I never went on a deployment, I was always here. I was always within 5, 10, 20 minutes of home, unless I was at a school or something, right?
And that's the difference.
But
you were always available.
But still, even when I'm at work, this might sound weird, but for the most part, when I was at work, I didn't think about home because I had so much other shit going on.
Exactly. You focused on work.
Right.
So now picture me on a deployment.
Not because I necessarily had to, right? Like I didn't feel like I had to like, okay, put my home life out of my mind. I mean, until things started getting bad, right? When things go bad, then I had to really like, okay, you're at work now. Compartmentalize.
Yes.
But
the compartmentalization was essentially what I was doing. I mean, I'm literally usually halfway across the world.
right. Under the ocean.
Under the ocean. What the fuck can I do? All I can do is trust.
So there are moments where you have downtime, where you could think about home,
I still don't.
but you don't.
Nope.
Self-preservation wise, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Because if you start thinking about home, you're gonna get all depressed and shit.
And I've seen that end sailors' careers.
Oh, I have no doubt. I mean, without getting too dark, I've had plenty of missions for my old squadron. We called them missions, where we had to go meet a submarine or take a submarine out or whatever. I had plenty of missions where it was like we got a random phone call. such and such sailor on the such and such boat tried to take his life.
Yep.
Got to go save him.
Get him off the boat.
Get him off the boat. And I always thought that that's what it was. Like, just could not turn off the brain and go into work mode and just stay there for an extended amount of time. And that's, I mean, to be fair, that's really hard to do.
It's not always that. There are...
yeah, it's not always that, but it's probably also like the strain of the job, right? Like, it's a hard job.
It's a very hard job. It's a very rewarding job. It's a very shitty job.
Right.
I fucking love it. No, there are some people who will bring this back around. You know, we brought up hazing before.
Right.
All right. If I don't think you can save me and get me back to my wife, I don't want you on the sub.
So, like, your mindset will change with that sailor?
Yes. And it should.
Yeah, I get that.
And that should, honestly, not just for submarine sailors. I think it should, to a greater extent, for submarine sailors. All right.
I think we had the same thing. Like, when I would train somebody and they just, either they weren't motivated to learn the information or they weren't proving that they could do the job. It was just like, all of our brains were just kind of like, get this guy out of here. What's he doing here?
Yeah.
Like, if he can't do the job, then he needs to go.
With the new Navy, you can't do that. You can't have that mindset.
Wow.
You have to try to get him through.
He's got to want to get through, though. That's the thing.
They've got to want to get through. All right. If they don't want to get through, you have to drag them through now. You can't make their life a hell.
Oh, man. And so much of that takes motivation, right? Like, even if it's just learning and committing to memory certain facts about the boat or about the weapon system or whatever you're trying to learn to pass aboard, you can't, at some point, you can't force someone to remember that stuff.
No.
And the only reason why we memorize that stuff, like, I remember I had to memorize the effective ranges of all my weapons. I had to memorize how fast they shoot, how far they shoot, how many, like, I had to know all the specific details so that I could be better with that weapon system, so that I understood how it worked, and so that when it broke or when it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing, I knew exactly what to do to fix it. There was a purpose behind me memorizing all that, but you couldn't make me memorize it. I had to motivate myself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
To memorize that stuff.
And did you want anyone who wouldn't do that next to you?
No, hell no. No.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, at some point, you have to just be like, well, this kid doesn't want to learn it. What do you do with a kid like that? You got to keep him.
Start a paper trail on him.
Yeah, but you got to keep him engaged, right? Like, otherwise, he's going to turn into a nasty spiral, and then my guys are going to get a call to go rescue some kid who's trying to kill himself. Right?
You're not wrong.
He needs to feel useful.
It's a very...
That's tough.
It's a very fine, and it's a very, 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 very gray line.
So, like, this isn't... I've never actually thought of this before. Do they do anything with you guys to, like, help you figure out how to manage yourselves?
All the time.
You would have to.
Talk about, like, stress management, right?
Yeah, because,
all the
like,
time.
surface is one thing, right? Like, if I'm on a carrier or a frigate or a destroyer or something, like, I would imagine communication with home is a little more regular, a little more predictable.
They have internet. They have TV.
Yeah, they have all kinds of cool stuff.
They have their own racks.
Yeah, I remember going, they do. I remember going to A school, and for those of you who don't know, A school is where you learn how to do your job.
Besides the fleet.
Right, besides the fleet. I remember going to A school and them telling us, on a ship, you're in charge of keeping that satellite dish pointed at the actual satellite as the ship moves across the Atlantic or whatever the fuck, so that everybody can have TV or internet or whatever. Like, that's part of our job. And so with a submarine, I know that's very, very different. So there has to be, right? Like they have to sit you down and be like, okay, we're going to be going pretty much dark for however long.
Yep.
This is how you're going to manage it because you might go crazy.
They don't like sit you down and tell you.
Like it's not enough to just give you a fucking steak and lobster dinner. Like you gotta.
No, don't even bring up steak and lobster because that's fucking means extension.
That means hey, we're going underway for another 2-3 months.
Yeah. Like I remember my first fucking steak and lobster.
You were like, oh, this is the shit.
And then the fucking CO came over the 1MC. Hey, gentlemen, so we're not going to be pulling in when we wanted to. You just hear the entire fucking, oh, fuck! Like, from the entire fucking crew. No, we had an Xbox underway. We had a PlayStation underway. We played a shit ton of video games. I played...
Stuff that doesn't require an internet connection. Yeah.
I played so much cribbage. So much spades.
That's the one, right? Cribbage.
500.
Submarine
euchre,
guys and cribbage.
Well, I'm also from Wisconsin, so.
Is that a Wisconsin thing?
I've been playing cribbage since I was like 5.
All right. Oh, so you were owning everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was only one person on my last boat that left the boat with a winning record against me.
Jesus.
Yes.
So that's part of it, right? Like keeping you guys occupied.
Oh, and we sleep a lot.
Don't they fuck with the air so that you can sleep? Then again, if somebody's always awake, then they can't fuck with the air that much. Right? I feel like I've heard that before. Where they'll mess with the air mixture or whatever so that at certain times of the day, people get sleepy. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense because people are always awake. Why would they do that?
No, so we did the math on it and we did some Googling after we got back.
You guys didn't even know what was happening on your own boat?
No, we knew, but we just wanted to have a comparison. And so we're obviously here at sea level. They would maintain an oxygen level of approximately a little bit less than Denver, Colorado.
Oh. So you could come back and run 1.5 miles without breaking a sweat.
The first time I came back from a deployment, I was up for 48 hours.
Yeah, because you were just like, all this air. What am I?
Yeah. my wife will swear to that. Like, she picked me up and I was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's go get some dinner. Let's go have some fun. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it was like 3 a.m. She's like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. It's like, all right, I'm going to stay up a little bit more. And I just stayed up and went to, I didn't have to work the next day. And she got up and I was still up playing fucking video games. She's like, did you sleep at all? It's like, no, I'm good. What are we doing today?
My God. My God.
Like I said, I was on an 88. I've heard Virginias are a little bit different. That was the high side we would see.
Right.
Was about Denver, Colorado, which I think is about 4 to 5% oxygen lower than sea level.
Man. So, all right. Back on track. So they help you figure out how to deal with this. What do they do? Do they sit you down in one big group and just be like, all right, this is what's going to happen. These are some coping mechanisms. What is it worth it? Or is it like standard Navy training where it's just like a PowerPoint and you're just like, get me through this as quick as possible?
It is a standard Navy PowerPoint.
That sucks.
That being said,
is it useful though?
They tell us.
I don't want you to talk shit about the Navy.
No,
I'm getting into some crazy territory. Right
I'm not going to talk shit. Like, they'll straight up tell you, it's like operational submariners, especially on deployments. Like, you are more than likely in the orange region, if not the red region.
Stress. He's talking about stress.
Yeah,
everybody.
The stress levels: the green, the yellow, the orange.
Green
the red.
means you're good to go and you're happy and everything's fine. Red is like, fucked. You should probably get off the boat because you're depressed as shit.
Yes, and they will openly tell you it's like you are more than likely in the orange at all times.
Yeah.
While you are on a
because this is so different than normal life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are, depending on what you're doing, like I've done some really fun shit. And by fun shit, I mean shit I cannot tell you about.
Right. That's the funnest kind of shit.
And so, yeah, like you are always on edge. I'll share a small story. So, on my first deployment, we were pulling into a foreign port that was friendly with an unfriendly country to the United States.
Interesting.
At least friendly enough to allow their like military vessels in the port.
Oh, wow. So it was like you guys were pulling up on the same pier or an adjacent pier to a not so friendly to American country.
It was a neutral country. I'm not saying it was Switzerland. It wasn't Switzerland.
Right. The place you were pulling into was neutral, but a couple of piers away was a ship from another country that we were not friends with.
Yes.
That's got to be crazy.
So we're up on the surface. Submarines on the surface are sitting fucking ducks.
Yeah, they are. That's why my shit exists.
Yep. Like if a submarine is on the surface and something bad happens, we dive. We dive and we run.
Run away.
Submarines are really good at underwater. When we're on the surface, it's shooting ducks in a pond.
No, I know.
Or fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
It's all
I've seen the one kid on the I know.
So we here we are pulling into this country. And it turns out we thought we had diplomatic clearance. And we didn't.
Diplomatic clearance meaning like you were cool to hang out there or what?
We did not have permission to enter territorial waters.
What? Is it the same?
It was a miscommunication. We were supposed to have it. And
How'd you even moor up if they weren't?
We didn't moor up.
But you were within 12 nautical miles of the shore.
We were within territorial waters of a country that we were supposed to have had clearance for that we didn't.
Interesting.
So I'm sitting there on cruise mess. They've got the fucking paravis up. And we turn back around, and the captain's like, well, so something screwed up. We don't have clearance to be here, and so we're going to pull out.
Never mind.
Well, you have an American warship in territorial waters, it's kind of an act of war.
I thought they were neutral.
We're not supposed to be there. We don't have permission to be there.
Sure.
Warship.
Sure.
Warship.
Yeah, got it.
So,
and you're not in international waters.
No, we are not in international waters
key
at this
there.
point.
That's the key. Is it the same everywhere in the world? Is it 12 nautical miles?
I don't know that.
I think it's 12 here. Pretty sure it's 12 here. I don't know where it is.
It's probably like 100 miles off of China.
Yeah.
So we
was that a mind fuck on you guys? Is that what you're getting at?
Let me finish.
Okay.
So because you're a Riverine, you know what happens. So
what happens when you're not in international waters and somebody catches you?
As a Riverine, what would you do if a Russian boat were to surface a mile off of Groton?
A mile off of Groton. Well, there would be many, many things that we would try to do. We would go through our escalation of force.
Exactly. Escalation of force. So here we are, an American warship.
Communications first being the thing, get them on the Marband, something, talk to them and try to figure out what did you guys like turn right when you should have turned left? Like what happened?
And that's because we're America.
Hey, you know where you are. You should turn around.
Yeah. That's because we're America.
Right.
Not wherever we were.
Right.
And so
we did have the Russians off the coast once, but they were like well outside of international waters.
No,
so we knew they were there, but it was just like, well, we can't do anything because they're just watching.
So
which was weird.
So we started turning around by the time that I think there were 3 other boats. So we also had an escort or two with us. I think we had an escort with
From
us.
the host country.
Oh no, our country.
You had an escort from ours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it was like, oh, I got it. All right.
I think it was a DDG.
So you guys weren't alone.
We weren't alone.
All right.
But we're a submarine on the surface.
Sure.
So we turn around, but not before it becomes a known fact that there's us in territorial water where we're not supposed to be.
With a couple other boats.
So the other boats followed us.
Sure.
And I remember watching the pair of his at them uncovering their gun mounts.
Yeah. I mean,
at them pointing their guns at us.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. You asked me what we would do. Escalation of force. That's part of it. I mean, if my boats are on the water and we're doing any kind of, if we're protecting a submarine, like that would be the situation. We wouldn't be out there unless there was a submarine out there. So if we're taking a submarine out to sea or something, we're in condition 3.
You're ready to shoot.
Not condition 1, but condition 3. So, right. But
locked, but not loaded.
pretty much like on an M240, for those of you who don't know, condition 3 would be like, I've got ammo on the feed belt, like on the feed tray. It's there. All I got to do is rack that thing.
Rack and tap.
That's it. Not even tap, just rack it. And I'm rack it, take it off safe. I'm fucking shooting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, we did that all the time. When people were getting within the protective zone of that submarine.
Yeah, the Thames River isn't that big.
We'll run up on you. We're blaring, sirens. We're calling you on the MAR band. I'm standing there behind a machine gun, ready to go if something crazy happens. And that's what we would do if it was a different country. If it was a Russian submarine that surfaced as we're taking a submarine out, you bet your ass I'll have that machine gun trained on that target.
Yeah. And so here we are.
Not going to shoot, and I might still be in condition 3, but I'll be ready.
Escalation of force.
Right.
And so, yeah, I remember just looking at that pair of his.
That's nuts.
Watching the fucking missile turrets. Just fucking. And I remember staring down one of those fucking barrels. And I thought to myself, it's like, they could fucking shoot us. And they had every right.
Yeah, because you were there with no permission.
They had every fucking right to sink us.
I mean, you hadn't done anything.
Hadn't done anything.
Show up.
Except show up. You're right. But they had every right.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what their escalation of force rules are? Like, I'm sure they didn't want to cause an international incident.
Would have been a fucking war. But
yeah.
Not that country wasn't already at war, but.
So, this puts you in a mindset?
Yeah, and that was...
Obviously. And you're not the only one, right? Like, you're not the only one seeing this video, this feed.
No, the entire boat knew what was going on.
God damn it. How old were you?
I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah, because it might put a date time to the... I get it. But I mean, there had to have been kids on that boat, right? Like,
I was a fucking kid.
Well, still, I mean,
fuck.
You don't even have to say that.
I just turned 30.
Okay,
I've done 10 years in the Navy. I just turned 30.
Yeah, but still, like, right? That there you go. That's the perfect point. Like, most people in the Navy are in that 20 to 40 range, which
most people in the Navy are in that like
20 to 30
to 23 range.
That's right. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, bunch of fucking kids were on that boat.
Can you imagine? I mean, I'm sure you can because you were there.
I don't have to imagine.
Can you imagine? Like, I'm pointing to the camera for those that are just listening, but like being so young and having a fucking missile ready to release and destroy you. Just for being in the wrong place.
And like...
So that's got to mind fuck you. I guess is where you're going, right?
Yeah, like I never thought I was in danger because it's like you run through everything in your head.
Logically, you're going, well, they're probably not going to. They're getting ready.
They're like, it's just they're fucking flexing on us.
Right. Of course. Right.
It's like, oh, we chased out an American submarine.
Right.
Chasing out an American submarine. We should probably edit that on the recorded one.
Dude, this is live.
I know it's live, but when you put the recorded one, you should fucking censor that.
Man, it's fine. I can if you want me to.
So, they were just fucking flexing on us.
Sure. Which is what you would do.
Yeah. But it's the realization that, like, they're not going to sink us. But they could.
Yeah.
There's nothing we could do. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because you don't have... There's no rules of engagement for you guys. At least because you were expecting to show up and just moor up and hang out, right? So it's not like somebody sent along rules of engagement.
No.
Through message traffic or whatever. Like, that wouldn't happen.
Fuck, even if they were to... our engagement would be fucking dive and run.
Right. Get the fuck away.
Yeah. No, and so, yeah, I compartmentalize whether it is a 4-day underway or it's a 4-month plus underway. When I say goodbye to my wife for the last time and I get to the boat, I shut off.
Yeah.
I am 100%. I am MMN1 Amrhein.
Right. And you're wearing the coveralls all day.
I'm wearing my fucking coveralls. I've got my fish on my chest. Like, I am doing this. This is my life.
So, this is a great segue.
Ooh, I'm glad I was able to do that for you.
Dude. All right, so you just recently switched commands.
Yesterday.
I wasn't going to... You can say whatever you want. But yeah, as recently as yesterday, you switched commands. You checked in yesterday. Did you go in your blues?
Fuck no, I'm first class.
Nobody does that shit anymore, do they?
No, they still do.
Do they?
Fucking, no, you get these little
I never once did that shit.
You get these little fucking nubbly nubs out of sub school.
Oh,
it's like,
sure.
I'm reporting my first boat. And it's like, all right, I'm going to show up to NSSC in my fucking, whites right now.
Right.
No, I fucking...
Do you have the new ones with the piping?
I gotta buy those.
Those are cool. I think they're cool.
Don't get me wrong. They're cool, but at the same time, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I have
Stop changing the uniforms.
So many fucking uniforms over my fucking career.
Did I know you when we switched to Type 3s?
Yeah, you offered me your Type 3s once I had to swap.
Right.
But you're a pencil, and I'm...
Right.
One of those fucking real thick permanent markers that you used to sniff to get high.
There was a diver that I knew, and what did he do for me? He did me a solid, and so I talked to my Ellis and got him a set of Type 3s. He was pissed because he was like, we're technically NSW. And I was like, no, you're not. Are you technically NSW? He's like, we don't have Type 3s. I was like, I'll get you a set, dude. Just do me something cool, and I'll get my Ellis to hook you up. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh my God.
No, so I showed up my first day yesterday.
You showed up your first day yesterday. So you are practically a brand new father. This is going to be different.
5 months, yeah. Fucking love my daughter.
I know you do, but like, this is a whole new ball of wax, man. It may or may not be, right? The test will be when you actually go underway and
seeing if I can still flip that switch.
If you can still flip that switch. Because I mean, truth be told, I talked to Alicia about this on the podcast, and it was just like, kids at this age, they're kind of
fucking know.
They don't know what's going on. They're like puppies. It's just like, and your attachment, I don't know what your attachment, and you can totally tell me what your attachment is. You cannot tell me what your attachment is, but like for me, when my kids were this young, it was like, I don't know. It was. This is gonna sound shitty, but it was kind of easy for me to kind of go away. Like right after Morrison was born, I had to go to a 3-month school or something like that. I had to be gone, and it was just like it was kind of easy because he wasn't doing anything. You know, he was just a brand new baby. He wasn't even crawling or talking. Like he wasn't doing much of anything. So it was like, oh well. But it was still hard in the sense that I wanted to hang out with my son. Like he was this new person, and I wanted to.
It's not so hard on them as it is on you.
Right.
And I'll tell you that is something I've put some thought into, and like I know it's gonna suck for me. Right. I love my daughter. I have no issues leaving her in the care of my loving wife.
Sure.
I have.
No, yeah, and I didn't either. And that's
surprising.
It's a private conversation. No. I mean, I 100%, I did not. I was the same way. And it's still to this day, I don't worry about it. I really don't.
And like, I have full faith in Alicia that when I'm gone, she is going to do everything that is in the best interest of our daughter.
Right.
It's going to be interesting that first time that I go underway and trying to flip that switch where it's like, I don't need to worry about them. Don't worry about them. Because it's not so much that like, but I want to word this. I fucking suck at words. I'm a horrible fucking podcast guest. You hear every fucking F-bomb I fucking drop? Damn.
It's funny. My mom called me out about that. I think it was my last episode with my friend Rich. She was like, she sends me this message. She's like, can you stop dropping so many F-bombs? She didn't ask me to stop, but she was like, I think it'll help if you stop. And I was like, I'm not going to think about it. I didn't tell her this. She's hearing it now, I guess. But like, and we did talk a couple days later via Skype, but I was just like, I don't want to, not going to censor myself. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to talk the way I talk. And if people want to listen, perfect. If they don't want to listen, I get it. If it's because if you don't want to listen because I'm dropping a couple F-bombs here and there, or my guest is dropping F-bombs, all right. Like,
we're fucking sailors.
I can't make everybody happy. I just can't. So I'm not going to try. I'm just going to be who I am.
You should be producing this and putting this on the way you want to, with the people you want to do it with.
Right.
Like,
which is why I don't do things like, if people have noticed, I don't know if people have noticed, but like at the beginning of the episode, I don't do an intro. I'm not like, welcome to the show, everybody. This is my guest today. I don't do that.
See, I was really hoping we would. That way we could like get right off on the twin fillet.
I don't want to do that. Like, it just does. It feels so like I don't know.
I want to be introduced as your twin fillet.
I want this to be just an organic conversation, and I might have said it on a podcast before, or I know I've said it to people that I know. Like, I don't want. I literally want this to be like we're having a conversation, and every once in a while we circle back to the kind of the main theme of what we're talking about.
Do you know what we really need to do? Because I would love to do this again so far. I know we still have a while to go to this. But if we really want this to be an organic conversation, do you know what we really need to do?
Put it on the fire. Put the fire out there. Do it around the fire pit.
No, the fucking acoustics on that would be fucking horrible. We've already discussed how much of an audiophile you've turned me into.
Would it be horrible? I don't know.
You'd have birds and the fire crackling in the background. And you'd have us fucking walking around. Not just ambiance. The problem is, like, if you could find
somebody would have to tend to the fire.
Well, that'd be me, of course, like it always is.
I'm getting better at it.
Sure. But we'd need like boom mics on the headset so that like I could walk over and piss in the tree line while we're still talking.
Sure.
But what we need to do is we just need to put a door up and get some towels to block the 3 doors you have in here, and either get like an Ionic Air Purifier Pro or crack open the door behind us a little bit.
Smoke some cigars or something.
Just a fucking cigarette.
Yeah. I mean, I can't make that happen.
You can or can't?
I cannot.
But you can.
What do you mean I can?
I mean, you have a door frame.
Well, yeah. No, man, I don't want to do that in the house. I did think about that, like, in the future, possibly, if I'm ever able to build like a...
Would a cigar in the house be all that bad?
Oh yeah, it's the same.
No, it's not.
It's literally pure tobacco.
It's the scent. It's like pipe tobacco.
No, well, there's two types of pipe tobacco.
All right, so I'm talking like the aromatic pipe tobacco.
Yeah, aromatic pipe tobacco might be different, but it would still over time it would color the walls and it would just it would leave tobacco stains everywhere. It'd be gross.
That's why we just or what we could do is we could just crack open this back door. Like, you're a decent carpenter. I'm semi-smart. Fucking just literally put a fan and a filter and just have a suction in the corner of the room.
So that's what I'm saying.
And just have it fucking ventilate outside.
If I was to get to the point where I had enough money to build a studio proper that was not part of my house.
When GME hits fucking $10 to $20 million share.
You're going to build me a studio?
Well, I'm going to build me a dream house. And what we'll do is we'll build a studio for you and Alicia to do your podcast. And it's going to be a fucking negative ventilation room.
It'll have the... Yeah.
No, we'll have
I'm
all
pretty
of
sure
that
that's what
isolated.
Rogan has. Rogan has that.
Well, but for as much pot as he smokes on there, he has to.
Yeah. Well, and he has all his guests, well, not all his guests, but a lot of his guests, like he'll smoke cigars with them, or Dave Chappelle was in there a couple days ago and he had, Dave was smoking cigarettes, but he has like that ventilation system. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I would love to be able to smoke a cigar or have my guests smoke weed or whatever they want to do to get comfortable, So something that burns for a long time would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the task at hand.
So yeah,
it's going to be different.
It's going to be different.
It's going to be different, man. I'm interested to see.
There is so I was an 88 sailor for the one person besides my wife and the Autobot chat moderator that's listening to us. An 88
says we have 2 people right now.
2 people. Oh, what's the 3?
3 playbacks. That's what that means.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm still learning this.
All right, so my wife and your chat moderator. Autobot.
It must be the chat moderator. It has to be. Go ahead.
Can you turn it off and see if it goes down to 1?
What do you mean? Turn the chat off?
No.
Oh, turn the. No, no, that would take too much time. I'd have to navigate to another website. It's through Stream Elements, so I'd have to go to Stream Elements and open it up and turn off the thing, whatever.
So yeah, it's gonna be different. I don't think I'll have an issue with it. It's probably gonna take me a day or two of being underway for it to really set in.
Yeah, to figure out if you actually do have an
issue with it.
Yeah.
But man, I fucking love being underway.
You may not. I mean, if you like to be 100% honest, even as my kids got older, I went away for schools, I went away for training, I went away a lot, and it was always about 3 months. So it was never as long as you guys do it, but it was still long enough for me to be away, and I still had contact with them, but it was still most of the day I was gone. Or actually, there were quite a few times where I went down to this place called Blackstone, Virginia. Is Blackstone? It's called Blackstone. Where we went to this range and there was no cell service. The only time I was ever able to communicate with them is if I happened to walk to this one MWR restaurant or something on base that had Wi-Fi and I could connect to the Wi-Fi and send them a text message or something. But man, even when I was out there, it was truth be told, it was kind of nice.
It really is. And
to not have to think about it and just focus on my job, and
you can just, in the back of your head, you just trust them.
Yeah. Yep.
And it allows you to just focus on the task at hand. And that's one of the things that's so
yeah, it's not like you have nothing to do.
No. That's one of the things that's serene about being underway. All right. I trust my wife to the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right. She's going to do the best thing for her, for our daughter, and for us. All I have to do when I'm underway, when I'm deployed, is in that fucking 300 and some odd foot fucking black tube.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else that matters to me.
Makes it kind of easy, doesn't it?
It does.
And that's what I enjoyed. You know, I enjoyed being away and, you know, being with the guys. At the time, we only had one female in my squadron. And I remember being with the boys and Tucker. Shouts out Tucker. And yeah, I mean, we'd be training all day, shooting guns, chasing each other with boats, like figuring out tactics, how to maneuver, how to communicate, how to shoot, how to move, how to talk to each other, how to run the missions, you know, and it was a nice little bubble. And then at the end of the day, when I was finished with work, if I had cell service, I would go home and or go back to the hotel or wherever I was at, and I would get on the phone and call somebody or send a text message or do a Skype call or something. But it was nice to have that little bubble of like, okay, I can focus on my job. And the crazy thing is like, if you're close to home, like when your boat is in port,
Yep.
you go to the boat every day, but you still are so close that you can come home at a moment's notice if you absolutely had to.
Yes.
That's kind of threatening, because then it's like, it's almost more difficult when your family's still around. It's pretty easy when you're by yourself and your family's
so
doing what
much
they're
easier.
yeah.
So much
your
easier.
family's kind of, they're doing what they got to do to do with, you know, to make it without you, and you're doing what you got to do. I'll tell you what though, the hard part is going to be coming back.
Dude, I am so excited to come back at the first time.
Yes, and you should be.
Fucking first hug.
But
First hug.
they're going to have a system. And I experienced this even going away for 3 months at a time. I would come home and I remember specific times, not specific times, but like I remember this multiple times having the same feeling of like standing around going like, it's like you're standing in the middle of a really well-oiled machine.
They're not used to you being around yet.
They're not. And so they have a routine. Everything's fucking greased and oiled and everybody's got their shit and everybody's doing things. And you're just standing there going, what do I do? Like, do you need something? No, we got it.
The mother of your children was actually cognizant enough to do that at one point.
Yeah. I mean, when I would come home and they had a routine. It was like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. Okay, now we're doing this. And now we're going to go to bed and we're going to take showers and we're going to do this. And we're just, yeah, she made shit happen, you know? And it was weird when I come home and it was like, I couldn't help. Like they didn't know how to integrate me back in, because I wanted to help and I wanted to be useful.
You just fuck more shit up when you try to help.
Right. But that's what makes it hard, right? Because like you want to be helpful and you want to be useful and you want to be there because you're the dad, right?
Yeah.
Like, but they have shit figured out without you and it's working. So it's like, they might look at you when you come back and they go, well, we're doing fine. Yeah, we don't need you. We're doing fine. Just go do what you were doing before. Like,
you can come home. Just shave off that mustache and you can come home.
yeah, like,
But we don't need you.
I'm telling you, man, they're gonna have a routine. Your daughter might be like, who the fuck? Why are you feeding me? You know what I mean? Like, who are you?
She does that now already.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's gonna be weird, man. I'm telling you.
I'm excited for it.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to win first hug.
So what is that, like a lottery you guys do?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a hug now? It's not even a kiss?
So first kiss is for the wife.
Oh.
First hug is for the kids.
Oh. See, I've never been on a ship, so I don't know.
And you call yourself a sailor.
I don't.
Well, anymore.
Not anymore. I could probably still fit in my blues.
I still fit in my blues.
And my type 3s. I haven't changed. I'm the same size.
Just a little bit more bald.
I'm the same amount of bald.
No, you're a little bit more bald. Let's be honest.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the same. I don't know. I haven't grown it out. Like, I started shaving it. I don't remember what year it was.
think it was.
It was after I got here. It was like 16 or 17 I started shaving it.
As long as I've known you,
you think so?
Had a shaved head. We arrived and we were living on Bushnell Street in 13. I think it was a year or two.
You guys got here before I did. I got here in 15.
I was going to say, I think it was 15 or 16 was when we had our first red meat date.
Wasn't I living in this house?
I don't think you were here yet.
In this house?
Yeah.
I was at the other house.
Yeah.
Down the street.
Yep.
I don't remember.
I think it was within like 9 months you moved in here. Alicia probably knows all of these dates.
It's crazy because I was buying this house because I was doing that board, which is how I met Alicia.
Yeah.
And I was in the process of buying this house while I was serving on that board. But yeah, it's around that time frame. I'm pretty sure I was in this house when we first had that meet date. It's can't.
Hold up. Let's do this
Right
at the same
there.
time. Yeah, let's get mine up.
You got to get it. There it is.
Oh yeah, look at that sexy leg.
Oh,
I don't know if I can't see the like in time stream, so
it looks good. No, but that was so
fucking Brian Turbio. Now at the Velvet Mill.
Yeah, he was at Flats. Shouts out to Flats Tattooing.
Nah, it's fucking Turbio. That dude has the softest hands.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
You've got a ton of tattoos. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 now.
Yeah. He had some good hands. This was not normal for him, though. He does a lot of realism.
He did a fantastic job with it, though.
So I put it in the show notes, or at least for this live stream. That was a really important time in my life. You know, like I had been... You and Alicia, you know, you guys really, I don't know what it was. Now I'm thinking about it. For whatever reason, it's like you guys just stepped in and decided to be there for me, which I'm forever grateful for.
You are, Pat, you are legitimately one of the nicest people I have ever met. I'm pretty sure I could ask you for the shirt you are wearing, and you would give it to me.
Would it fit you?
Probably. You call me fat?
Nope. Calling you short. It's a medium. It probably
Fuck you. I'm just because you're like 6.5 feet tall.
6'3", 6'4", 6'4" in the morning, 6'3" in the afternoon.
Where does that extra length go? Huh?
You know, just compression, spinal compression throughout the day. I remember waking up and going straight to the PFA weigh-ins, and I was, what was it, 66 inches or whatever, and then sometimes in the afternoon
Hey, Pat.
it would be 65. What?
Pat.
What?
What's 6 times 12?
What?
What is 6 times 12?
75. Sorry, 75, 76 inches. Yeah, I'm not 5 foot nothing or 5'5" or whatever I said I was. Anyway, yeah, you guys just for whatever reason showed up, and I don't know what it was. I didn't expect anything from anybody. You know, I just kind of went through that moment in my life, and I don't know. You guys just showed up. I don't know what it was.
We didn't
What
really.
was it? What was it? From your
You were
side. For me, it was just like,
honestly, I loved our red meat date.
yeah,
Alicia already liked you.
yeah.
All right. I had a blast sitting and listening to you. So for those unfamiliar with Pat and I's sordid history, Pat's ex-wife, and my wife went off and did a thing that day. And
Right.
so my wife was like, you should message her husband and invite him over because she was vegan.
Where were the kids? Were they with me? Were they with us?
No.
They were with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Alicia's like, his ex is vegan, or his wife at the time was vegan. Do you like the quotations?
Yeah. It's true. It's accurate. Like she would claim vegan, but she would eat like bacon.
She would just not eat.
Or not eat yeah, it was a complicated situation.
So Pat came over. I cooked us burgers. We drank a decent amount of beer.
Yep.
And we sat on my couch.
Just hung out. Talked about music.
Listening to Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Because we had just gotten the record player and we had the...
You guys had just gotten that record player?
Within like 6 months or so of that,
You had a hell of a collection by the time you had that record player.
Well, she had bought some records before.
Oh, she just had records, no way to play them?
Well, she had bought me one. And then, like, we didn't really have a record player. And then, like, after that, I had bought her, the record player. And that's when we started doing, like, the Led Zeppelin collections.
Oh, right.
Because they just sound fucking amazing.
Yeah, they do.
And so Pat came over. We had burgers. We had beer. We smoked a lot of cigarettes. A lot of cigarettes.
Was it a lot?
Yes.
That's how I have this sexy voice.
We just sat and we bonded.
Yeah.
And I liked Pat. My wife liked Pat. To be completely honest, and like I told Alicia this, like the day that you told us you guys were splitting up.
Yeah.
I did not like her from the day I met her. There was something about her that just flag after flag after flag was going up in my head.
Which, if I remember right, there was a significant amount of time between the first time everybody was introduced.
Well, that was the first time I'd ever met Austin, but she had stayed. You're gonna have to edit that out. My apologies.
I'll put a beep in.
That is the first time I'd ever met your ex.
Yeah.
And she'd brought the kids over. And there was just something about how she was and how she treated you, and just it didn't sit right with me.
Right.
And just because honestly, she didn't seem like she was happy that you had a good day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, you and I had just had a fucking kick-ass day.
Yeah.
And she seemed pissed off about it.
Oh, weird.
That was the vibe I got.
Well, I don't know. I think at that point I was too entrenched in whatever it was I was entrenched in. It was like, I mean, when you're involved in a relationship, you don't
see those things.
Yeah, you can't. On some level, you can't. It's hard to be that objective when you're that far down it. It's just like,
yeah.
And people can tell you all day, and it won't phase you because you won't see it because you're not sitting from that perspective. On. Yeah, you kind of have blinders on, right? Like you almost don't want to believe it.
Yeah. And so like I told Alicia that day, it's like I just don't like her.
Yeah.
I really liked you. And she really liked you. And that's why we started hanging out. We both really liked you.
Man, I forget what it was. It must have been around that time where it was like the divorce was happening, and I was just because we started doing
our red meat dates,
red meat or fire, right? Like we'd have a fire in my backyard, and we'd grill some food, and sometimes it was both of you, and most of the time it was just you.
Yeah, a lot of the times it was just me because I think it was like within 6 months of that was when you had told us that you two were splitting up.
Yeah.
And I think it was that weekend I was like, hey, I'm gonna go recreate this with Pat.
Yeah.
And that's when like, hey dude, I'm buying steaks. We're doing some potatoes.
I needed that. Like that was you're right. I don't think I reached out. I think it was you because I'm not the kind of guy that's going to do that. Like I'm not going to be like, reaching out to people going, I need somebody. Like, it's not me.
I know that feeling. I'm not that way either.
I think a lot of guys are the same way.
I think so too.
Like, we have to force ourselves on each other to make sure everybody's okay.
And I was like, hey man, let's do a fucking red meat date. And it fucking stuck. I think we did 3 or 4 of those. And there was one night that we started off with a red meat date. And we had gotten kind of drunk, which was part of the course.
I wasn't going anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we had joked about getting steak tattoos.
Oh, right.
And Alicia came over that night because she ended up picking me up.
Oh, that's right.
And we had told her our master plan. We're getting matching steak tattoos. And I think it was like a month later. We had completely forgotten about it. And Alicia looked at me. It's like, so are you and Pat serious about getting the steak tattoos?
It was fast. It was just like, you messaged me and were like, hey, are we doing this? I was like, fuck yeah, we're doing it. And it was like that day or the day after. It was like a weekend. It was like a Saturday, right? Like you and I just got in the Mazda and we drove around town until we found a place.
Yeah, we went to like 2 or 3 different tattoo shops. We ended up going to Flats. Brian Cherbia had some fucking openings. And we're like, we told him, it's like, this is the idea that we want. We just want a fucking steak tattoo. And he pulled up this awesome, well, he pulled up a piece of flash art that was like a dagger through a steak.
Right.
And we're like, perfect. And he's like, awesome. You mind if I tweak it? And we were both just like, yeah, that's part of the fun. We had this discussion.
Yeah.
Part of the fun when you're going to a tattoo artist is it's his mark on you.
Right.
And so he put his twist on it. He showed us it. We're both like,
that's the one.
Fucking perfect.
Yep.
And again, huge shout out to Brian Cherbia. He was at Flats Tattoos. He's currently doing, I can't remember the name of his shop, but he's currently in the Velvet Mill.
Yeah.
Had a great time. We shot the shit about D&D, not D&D, Warhammer 40K, because he had some of his army stuff there.
Right.
And yeah, we got our steak tattoos that day.
I'll tell you, man, it's a constant reminder of what you guys did. You know, I was in I needed that. I needed somebody to come in and just be like, look, dude, fucking just hang out. Let's talk it through. Get off your chest, whatever you need to get off your chest, because it was a really, really difficult time in my life. And it was hard because there were certain things that I felt like, and I know my parents are going to watch this because they always do, or they listen to it.
Can I ask a stupid question?
What's your stupid question?
What's that last number on the screen? The 5212 right now.
That's average watch time.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like the length of the stream because it really hadn't changed for like the entire time that we've been watching. So like, did we like stop the?
Well, I mean, we started at about 7. It's 8:46, so we've been going for almost 2 hours.
I just didn't know if we'd like somehow like stop the stream.
No, we're good.
Like,
no, it's fine.
All this newfangled technology that you've been introducing me to, like,
I know what I'm doing. Just relax. I got this. So, my parents.
Whenever a sailor says relax, I got this. That's the one time you need to worry.
I got this. You know, there's certain things that, like, I'm very close with my parents, right? Like, I feel like I can say just about anything I want to them. But there are certain things that I don't know. It's just like, it's not that I want to protect them from anything or I want to hide things from them. It's more like I have a heart. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's almost like my brother, right? Like with my brother, I feel like there are certain things I would say with my brother and talk to him about than I would my parents. So, you know, for some reason, there's some hazy line between what I'm going to say to my brother or my best friends versus my parents. And I don't really know where that line is or what that is. But anyway, that's what was so perfect about it, was that you guys were here and you were kind of forcing me, not really forcing me, but it was kind of forced. Like, I needed it and I wasn't going to ask for it. So somebody had to force me, and it wasn't going to be my parents or my brother for that matter. I needed somebody physically here, right? Like, a Skype call is not going to do it. a phone call is not going to do it. I need somebody in my backyard with me around the fire, figuring shit out.
More than happy to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I had, as much as it was for you, it was just as therapeutic for me.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah.
Like, because, like, Alicia, like, I love me some red meat.
It's fucking good.
It's fucking good.
You know, when I'm on the dating apps and anybody says that they're like vegan or anything, I'm like, nope.
Lift.
I got a meat fucking tattoo. I can't.
Got a steak through steak.
Yeah, unless you're willing to date a guy who eats meat.
When are we going to do another one of those?
We got to do it. It's warming up. So
I've already fired up the grill.
Well, it's all about your schedule now.
Do you have the kids this Friday?
No, but I might be going out.
All right. If you don't go out, let me know.
All right. I got the whole weekend, really.
Oh, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Pick a day.
Not Sunday.
Not Sunday.
Not Sunday. I see you, Alicia.
What does Alicia have to do with it?
It's her day, right? Sundays? That's you guys? That's your day?
Oh, she's getting... No, so...
I was told stay away from Sundays because that's y'all's day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Love you. Love you. That's the day that we...
She's watching right now.
I know she is.
The kids were at... Oh, no, that was her. She's in the chat.
She's in the chat?
For me, it was the BS that Austin put you through. I don't know. Should I even beep her name? Does it matter at this point? I don't think it does.
My opinion and your opinion is what matters here.
I'm going to have to think about it. Because right now it's live, but nobody's really watching. Well, I'll take some time to think about it. So anyway, she says, BS the way what she put me through, she being my ex, and I just knew we had to be there. Yeah. The kids were at school. Really?
I don't think we had a red meat date during the day.
I feel like it was in the evening, like afternoon, evening.
No, I'm saying I think it was during the weekend. I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday.
I thought so too. I thought it was like a weekend. You like, or whatever. Carrying on.
No, I want to touch back on your question.
Which question?
Does it matter if you say her name?
Oh, yeah. I've been wrestling with this for a while now because, like, you know, it's going to come up, especially with people that know me and that know her, right? Like,
see, here's the thing. One, you're not using her last name.
True.
Two, it's not her legal name.
It is.
Is it actually now?
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah, it is. It's been like that for a while now.
It's not like you're coming on here and like completely destroying her.
And that's never my intent. I have no reason to destroy her.
Well, you kind of do, but that's besides the point.
You think I do. I will never do that. Like it's
you're too good of a guy to do that.
This is my kid's mom. You know, I'm not gonna. I have no reason to destroy her. You know.
Well, she's anti-vax for one.
That's a whole to be determined. To be determined, man. I don't know. Like we had a conversation a while ago. She's like in a gray. Last time we talked about it, she was in a gray area. It was like she didn't want them to happen all at the same time, which I get. So I think she's somewhere in the middle now, where it's like, yeah, you can get them, just don't get them all at once, you know. Which that's fine.
But whether or not you want to use her name, I would not use her last name.
Right.
I think that is definitely a hard no.
Right.
But I don't think you should have to worry if I almost used an old name of hers.
Yeah.
Just to be an asshole.
Right. You gotta be careful.
But like the people who know you, who they know her name.
Right.
All right. If you're not using her last name, you're not advertising this is my ex-wife.
Right.
It's easier to say her name than it is to say the mother of my
It really,
children,
yeah, it really
my
is.
ex-wife.
Yeah.
All right. So I think as long as you don't use her last name, all right.
I'm kind of in that boat right now. Yeah. As long as I don't use her last name, I'm good.
If you really wanted to have some fun with it, I really think that we should just call her Brittany.
Oh, that'll get you killed.
Sorry, is it Brittany or Brittany?
Yeah. That's
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
that'll get you murdered. I'm going to have to like watch the news now to make sure that you're not dead. We'll be fine.
But
whatever.
I honestly think that would be more appropriate than using her current name. If you really want to maintain her anonymity, no one's going to know that name.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
But I didn't even call her that.
That's the point.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You're not going to refer to her as like that is something that you know the meaning of.
Right.
That everyone else that watches this, that listens to this, when you say, and like I was being an asshole when I said, is it Brittany or Brittany?
Right.
Whether or not, like, no one else will be able to track that to her now.
Yeah, that just makes it. Yeah, it makes it more difficult to track that down.
Exactly.
You know what though? Like at the end of the day, like even her actual name would be hard to track down, right? Like unless you know me. And are able to track. Like, how would you even do that? Like, if you're following me on Instagram or you're following me on Facebook, like, how would you?
Are your kids on your Instagram account?
What do you mean? Are my kids?
Are your kids on your Instagram account?
What do you mean?
Well,
I mean, have pictures of my kids on my Instagram account?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they tagged?
They don't have their own accounts. So no, they're not tagged.
But they're not tagged. But let's say there's some software that might be able to pick up the fact that your kid's face is on your account and another face on a foot fetish account.
Man, you were testing it today. I need another beer.
Grab me one.
What are you drinking?
I don't know. My buddy Mike Bogdan came over as a celebration for my bowling, and he brought this G-Bot. It's an IPA. You want to try it? I'll trade you.
Oh, summer school. It was summer school. So it wasn't a summer. It was like a reading camp thing that they did for. Yeah, that's right. It was like the kids had done like 9 to noon or something. I think they were doing this summer camp thing.
They must have gone somewhere after.
So yeah, we dropped the kids off at the summer camp thing, and then yeah, they had to go get them after. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, you want to try it?
Good catch. Oh, is that? I've had that before.
Oh, have you? Never mind then. I've got more of these at home.
All right. What's next? How are you dealing with it?
With being a new father?
Yeah.
I fucking love it. I have an embarrassing story I will share.
No, I want to know like the sanity part of it.
In my opinion, well.
Yeah?
I love it. I fucking love being a dad.
Has it been overwhelming?
No, we have a really chill baby.
No, I mean like the responsibility factor.
Oh.
I mean the baby's easy, right? Like
well, I did give her a black eye.
The baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Like yeah, I
no, I mean like legitimately I gave her a black eye.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Not on purpose.
Oh no, not on purpose. I love. So It was bath night like 3 or 4 weeks ago already.
They're slippery in that shit. They're slippery.
So she was rolling, but she wasn't like really quick about it yet.
You still bath night in the sink?
In the sink.
Yeah.
And so I'd taken her out of the bath and I had put her on the counter, wrapped her in her towel, turned around to drain the sink, and I turned back around and she's rolling off the edge.
Right.
And so I caught her before she hit the ground, but not before she bounced her head off of a trash can.
Oh.
So she had this huge fucking baseball-sized fucking bullshit right above the eye, a little bit of fucking blood in the eye.
Happens.
Black eye. Rushed to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Thought I was going to be talking to the police and CPS that night.
No, I mean, I've had the same thought, right? Like Morrison, before he could walk, he was crawling up the stairs and turned around or something and tried to come back down and fell down the stairs and busted his eyebrow open. He still has a bitchin' scar, which is just going to get him more ladies when he's older, because he's going to have that cool, like, you know, like, wow, what happened? Did he get into a fight or something scar? It's going to make him look awesome. But anyway, yeah, he fell, and I thought the same thing.
Minecraft era. So.
We took him to the hospital, and they had to glue it shut, and I was like, man, they're going to fucking ask. But they don't. I mean, they understand. Kids get into shit all the time.
Oh, they totally asked us, but we were totally honest.
You were like, hey, I dropped her. We were fucking doing bath time, and
yeah, like
she's fucking slippery. It happens.
We were checking her in, and she's like, what happened? And I'm like, it's totally my fault. Like, I turned my back after I'd set her on the counter, and she rolled off. She hit her head on the trash can. I caught her before she hit the ground, but like she hit her head on the trash can.
Yeah.
And they seemed, well, didn't talk to the police, didn't talk to CPS.
It's nerve-wracking, ain't it?
Oh, it was incredibly nerve-wracking.
You feel like a shitty person.
Like, because, so we're still in the COVID regulations. Pat and I are both vaccinated.
100%.
I'm not quite fully 100%, but
I thought you were 100%.
I got the shot 3 days ago.
Oh. The second one?
First one.
First one.
Only one. J&J.
Oh, you got the Johnson & Johnson one?
Yeah.
Is that what the Navy's giving you?
No, that's what Walmart gave me.
What the fuckle? I thought the Navy was handling all that.
The Navy fucking...
They usually do. That's what I'm saying. Like
they were, but the whole, like, transfer of command, so it's like the first batch came out and I wasn't in that batch, and then the second batch got delayed, and then, like, the second batch finally came. It's like, well, you leave in a month. We're not going to give this to you when you're not going to be a useful body. So you'll just get it when you get to your next boat. And then I took a buddy in who was deploying, and he was just like, you know, you can just go out in town and get it. And I'm like...
It shouldn't matter, right? Like, you get the flu shot when you get... Like, every year we have to get the flu shot. You get the flu shot when you get the flu shot. It has nothing to do with what command you're attached to. You just go to the fucking clinic and they give you the shot.
Well, it's because there was a shortage of the shots at the time.
Oh, okay.
And so now that they're, like, stocked back up, I was at Walmart on Saturday.
And you were like, well, I'm here.
Yeah, they made an announcement. It's like, hey, we have walk-ins available at the pharmacy for the COVID shot. And so I bought my shit and I walked out and I called Lisa. I'm like, look, they just made an announcement that they have walk-ins for the Johnson & Johnson COVID shot. I want to get it.
All right.
And she's like, all right. So I got the shot. Sunday fucking sucked.
Yeah, I heard. Dude. Yeah, I'm up to speed. I got 2 Pfizer shots. Feel pretty good.
I'll be good here in a week and a half. What were we talking about?
Being a shitty parent and dropping your kid.
Oh yeah. Totally true.
Yeah.
No, so like they it was the COVID regulations, and so like there was only one parent allowed with her. And so
interesting.
The mom instincts kicked in. Alicia's like, I want to go back there with her. And so Alicia went back with her. I finished the check-in process, gave them the insurance information, and I'm like, all right, where do I wait? And they're like, well, you can wait in your car, otherwise your wife can call you when they're done. And I'm like, okay. And I drove to the nearest gas station, and I waited. I picked up a pack of cigarettes, filled up her tank of gas, and got myself an energy drink.
Little snacky snack?
No snacky snack. Just a little a Nick fix. And I waited for about an hour and a half tops. and I smoked like a little over half a pack of that. Half of that.
We're
pack.
nervous as shit, I bet.
Yo, my daughter's in there just like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking baby. They got squishy skulls.
She's not even a year yet.
No, she was like 4 months at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Horribly.
Oh, my God. So.
I took my guitar and I smashed against the wall.
Dude, I don't know lyrics. You're expecting me to know lyrics. I don't know lyrics. I'm not a lyrics guy. For some reason, I just don't. My entire life,
the body of a varsity cheerleader.
I just, for some reason, have never committed lyrics to my brain. I don't know what it is. I mean, I've been a drummer for most of my life, but even before I was a drummer, for some reason, lyrics never stick.
Did Meatloaf had good drums?
I don't even know. I haven't spent a lot of time listening to Meatloaf.
Should upgrade yourself on that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Come on.
We'll see. I bet it's epic as fuck.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And I would do anything.
Oh no. Okay. Wait. You're good. Okay, so you're handling it. You're handling being a new father. You're not losing your shit. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
For the time being.
I got a great wife that helps.
You get to go bowling.
Oh, that's done. But yeah, I was.
It's like that's the whole point of this podcast, right? Like we're supposed to figure out how you keep being you throughout all this shit.
Well, I can say I pissed Alicia off a lot. It's pretty normal.
That's because you've been around a lot more, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
the
no,
past
I've been,
like 30 days, you've been on leave.
It was. I was essentially running a bowling pro shop. Now do that 2 nights a week.
Right.
Now bowl 1 night a week, and so I was out of the house every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay. That's good. Built-in time off.
The Fridays were. Alicia and I had some discussions on the Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'm really interested in what she's gonna fucking pipe in on the because like it was a job. I got paid to go do something, but I thoroughly enjoyed what I was doing.
Right.
If I became a millionaire tomorrow,
you would do this job obviously not for the money.
Not for the money. There's no money in it. Right. I would do it just because I love doing it.
It sounds like an awesome job.
It is.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Well, it's
that you're gone even after you've been gone.
Not so much that like I said, I'm very interested in see what she's gonna fucking pipe.
Did you listen to the past episodes with her?
No, she didn't want me to.
She hasn't said anything yet.
So it was me being gone.
Right.
Doing something I like.
Right.
Even though it was a job.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? Because like it's not like it's not like you're just leaving because you want to go do something fun. It's because you're leaving and doing something fun, but you're also getting paid.
But I'm having fun.
But you're having fun. You happen to be having fun doing it.
While I'm getting paid.
Yeah. So it's like, that's a tough one because in my experience, being married with children, and I talked about this a little bit with my friend Rich in my last episode, like I had a hard time being gone for 14, 15, 16 hours a day.
Yep.
Coming home and being like, changing out of my fucking uniform and being like, all right, see ya. I'm going to be gone for another 4 or 5 hours. I had a hard time with that because I was like, I was already gone all day and I want to see my family. That's hard. That's a hard thing to juggle because you feel bad enough for being gone for as long as you are. And then to come home and just be like, all right, I'm leaving again. At some point you have to.
But
And it's hard to push yourself, and it doesn't sound like you're there yet. You're not pushing you don't feel like you have to push yourself to be away because you have this thing, and she's for all intents and purposes, she's allowing you to do it. I keep checking because I'm thinking she's going to chime in. Right? For all intents and purposes, she's like, yeah, go do your thing. Like, but also you're getting paid to. So I never had that. I never had like a second job where I was getting paid to go do something, especially something that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that if I had something that I was doing as a side hustle that I was getting paid to do, that I liked to do, it would be a lot easier for me to come home and be like, okay, I'm going to go. I got my other job. See ya. But because I didn't, it was like, it was hard. It was hard for me to justify in my brain. I've been gone 16 hours. Now I'm going to go do something I want to do.
Well,
Because from her perspective, it was, you've been gone all day doing adult things with adults and having adult conversations.
That was also
right. And I've been stuck with these children all day, not having adult conversations, not having adult interactions. And I'd come home and I go, I get it. But nothing I was doing at work is what I wanted to do. That's the thing you don't understand. Like, it's not like I wanted to be there.
No. Just because you're making the best of it while you were there.
100%. I was just going to say, just because I was having an okay time and laughing with my friends doesn't mean that I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I would much rather be at home with you guys than at work with these people that they're just work friends. And right, we were making the best of a bad situation. We were cracking jokes and trying to have a good time because we knew we were going to spend 16 hours a day together. You know, that's what makes it so weird and difficult. So it's interesting that you're getting paid to go do something, which is kind of a fun's the word I came up with. Right? I'm just like, it's an interesting turn of events, right? Because it's not like you just want to go do this thing. You're getting paid, and actually they're expecting you to be there.
Yes.
Because they're paying you.
And like Steve is a great boss. He was very flexible in my hours. Once we had 9 Eve, I went from working 3 days a week to 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Talked with Alicia just to like try to maintain like the cash flow. I went from working 3-4 hour shifts to 2 5
right, because
shifts.
She's not working, right?
No.
She quit that job.
Yep.
Which was good because it was a shit job.
Was a shit job,
but I mean, the income must have been, it's nice to have that buffer.
Yes. And so we were using my income was supplementing some of her vices, some of my vices.
Sure.
And so it was helping both of us.
Right.
But while I was doing that, like I was there getting paid to do something that I like to do, talking to the people I wanted to talk to. Like I was seeing my friends
right
at a second job.
Right.
And so that definitely caused some.
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, the first job is enough. In my experience, right? Like it's that same thing I was just saying a second ago. Like I get home and she's like, you've been gone all day having adult conversations with adult people and you've been having so much fun. And you'd text me a picture of you guys doing something stupid on the boat. And I'm like, yeah, but like,
it's my job.
I have to be there. It's not like, it's different when you have to be there. Like, it's not like a civilian job where I can phone in sick or I can, you know what I mean? Get someone to cover my shift. That doesn't happen in the Navy. No. You will be there. And if you're not, stand by. Yeah. So like, it's not like I want to be there, but so we're trying to make the best of a bad situation or, not a bad situation, just a situation in general. But, so it's that, but it's also now you're having fun at a job. Man, that's gotta be rough. How do you quantify that in your brain though? Like, it's got to be hard, right? Because like you need that on some level. everybody needs that. And I know that she understands that, whether or not she's going to say anything in the chat.
She did understand that, which is
that.
why she was okay with me still bowling on Fridays.
Right.
The problem is we definitely ran into some. Actually, get in front of the mic here so I don't sound.
You
like
can.
I'm,
That's why the headphones are important. Yep.
Yes. Where's I going with that? Essentially, like
it's got to be equal.
It's got to be equal, and so she would look at occasionally to look at the Mondays and Wednesdays and like, look, you're seeing your friends, you're talking with your friends. Like, I know you're not like working on an assembly line the 5 hours that you're there.
Right. Right.
And
She's
she's
a fun
not
job.
wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, I'm still getting paid. Like, yeah, I'm talking to my friends because I'm doing work for them.
Right. Right.
And so it definitely caused us to butt some heads sometimes, especially when it came to
Sure.
Bowling on Fridays.
I hate to drop the word, but like the word that always came to my head when I had this conversation.
Was it the bird?
Bird.
Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. No. Jealous, right? Like it's a little bit of a jealousy thing. It's like you get to be out with adults all day. And then if you're doing something that you like to do, it's even worse, right?
And she's at home with the baby all day.
And then if you're getting paid to do something that you like to do, it's like triple worse, because now it's like she feels bad for calling you out because you're getting fucking paid. Whereas me, if I was to be at work 16 hours a day and then just be like, I'm going to go hang out with my friends for another 4 or 5 hours, I'm not getting paid for that.
Right.
So she probably on some level is like, I can't knock him for it because he's at least getting paid to do it, you know. But still, it's hard because it needs to be equal. She does need her time away from that kid, 100%.
Agreed.
Especially if you're going to be gone for however long you're going to be gone for, deployments and underways and all that jazz. It's going to suck.
And it's going to suck. We'll get through it though.
Yeah. Should be fine. I'll be here.
Deployment husband.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. I think
it's a thing.
I think she called me that.
She did.
She did. Well, I got nothing going on. I got my kids. That's about all I got.
Got fucking 3 kids. Now, how old is Magdalene now?
She is 10.
10?
Yep.
So give it like another year, maybe 2. When Magdalene can like watch a sleeping baby through the night who's not going to wake up.
I think she's supposed to go through a Red Cross training this year. Yeah, so that she can become kind of certified.
So she can watch her brother?
Right. Which, if she's certified, then she can watch any little kid.
Well, I'll leave that discussion up to Alicia. Like, I was watching my cousins when I was like 11 or 12.
That was a different time.
It was a different time. That was like 18 years ago.
Yeah. Like,
can't do that anymore.
No, like
you can't have your fucking second grader walking to and from school anymore.
No, you can't. It kind of pisses me off because when I was in 6th grade, I was the last one to leave the house in the morning. Everybody was gone. My brother was gone. My parents were gone. Everybody was gone. I left the house. I would open the garage, get my bike out, and then I would come back inside. I would set the alarm for the house, leave, lock the door. I had a key. I think it was on a necklace. I had a key on a necklace or something.
You can't do that anymore.
And I would ride my bike to fucking school, lock the shit up, go in, and then I was the first one home. Can't do that anymore.
It's not acceptable.
No. I'm pretty sure we lived closer to my kids' school than we did to my elementary school when I was in 6th grade.
The olders, maybe.
Olders? What do you mean?
Magdalene school.
Her new school that she's going to go to next year?
Yeah.
No, it's even farther away.
Talking Mary Morrison?
No. They don't go to Mary Morrison. They go to
they don't?
They go to CKMS.
Oh, where's
which
that?
is right fucking down the road.
Oh, I thought they went to
the one by you?
Yeah.
No, they don't go to that one. Nope. It's fucking close. It's right there.
I lived so starting in,
I mean, I'm not gonna let them walk there, but like distance wise, it's probably about the same as it was from my elementary school.
I started
And I rode my bike.
walking in second grade. Well, I started walking in first grade, but I'd get dropped off to school. My dad's place of employment was literally like 5 minutes from the school.
Yeah.
And so I'd walk there when I was done with school.
Oh, you'd walk to his job. Okay, yeah.
And then I'd catch a ride home with him. He'd
Sure.
drop me off on the way to work, and then we'd ride home after work. But starting in second grade, I was walking, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was about a mile. It was about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
As a second grader.
Yeah.
And we crossed.
You had a key to the house and everything?
Yep. And we crossed a bridge that went over a river. And let me tell you, in the middle of fucking Wisconsin, when it's in the middle of winter,
Ugh. I'm not jealous.
that river would freeze and we'd fucking walk down the river.
Dude, hell yeah, you would. I tell you, that was one of the weirdest experiences I ever had, was walking on Lake Mendota when it was frozen. That was weird.
Dude, I got to get you out ice fishing.
I would love to go ice fishing.
Well, you won't initially, but you will eventually.
As long as we have one of those, one of those ice huts, and there's a heater in there.
Now,
Good.
Let me tell you, like,
With like some cots and a TV, we'll be fine.
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean what's wrong with me?
So my favorite,
There's a shed, right?
it's called a shanty.
That's what I said, shanty.
It's like a sea shanty, but there's no song with it.
And there's no sea because it's freshwater.
And there's usually beer in there.
Old Milwaukee.
Ugh.
Right?
Oh. So,
That's how I feel about Lone Star. All the hipsters love Lone Star, and I'm like, gross.
it was
gross.
the last time I went ice fishing before I joined the Navy. So it was March. I was 19. And it was a beautiful March day. I think it was like around March 20th. It was just before my 19th birthday.
March, still fucking frozen. Right?
No, I'm trying to think if I was 19 or 20.
Frozen.
Anyways, so it was like a nice 40-degree day, but we had a solid like 2 feet of ice under us.
Jesus Christ.
And so I'm out there. My dad had a pair of fucking German World War II fucking like woolly bottoms.
Beast. Probably warm as shit, huh?
Warm as fucking shit.
Yeah.
I had those on. I had my boots on.
That's legit.
I had a long sleeve shirt on over a pair of fucking thermal underwear top.
Yeah.
Didn't even have gloves on at the time because I was warm enough from that. I take the hat on and off to control my temperature.
Are you in a shanty?
No, just running around on the ice.
Jesus.
It's 40 degrees out. It's sunny.
Oh, why are you dressed so thick?
Because we're on 2 feet of ice.
Okay.
It's still like 40 degrees.
So it's the opposite of AstroTurf. AstroTurf in the summer, right? It'll be like 95 degrees outside, but if you're standing on an AstroTurf, it's like 105, 115.
No, if you're standing on
110.
ice, it's still cold.
Is it colder than the actual temperature, though?
It depends.
All right. So it's like 40 degrees. That's not that diff. That's pretty
No,
good.
it was a beautiful day, but we still had plenty of ice on the lake.
Right.
And so we're fucking ice fishing. Like I've got like the
I'm
cutoff.
surprised you weren't in shorts, you crazy fuck.
It's still cold on the ice.
That's fair.
Fucking had the hole drilled up. There may or may not have been beverages sitting in the ice that we had drilled from the hole.
No shanty.
No shanty.
All right, just checking.
All right. We had a grill out there with us on the ice.
So you got some heat from the grill.
No, we cooked the fish we caught.
Of course you did.
And we ate it right there.
You didn't bring anything home?
Well, yeah, we brought a lot home.
Okay.
We caught a lot of fish that day.
Of course you did.
So we ate some.
Oh, sure.
So we were below our limit.
All right.
ice fishing is just fucking wonderful.
All right. So we're going to go ice fishing.
We're going to go ice fishing.
Not in Connecticut because it doesn't exist here.
Well, it kind of does. We just have to go to the northern parts of Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
So I got to get a license and all that jazz.
Yes.
All right. Damn. What do you think? Is that it? Did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything except what we actually wanted to talk about.
Like what? What do you got?
I have no idea.
I just want to know, like, how you're saying. It sounds like you're surviving by having this extra thing outside of work, which is the bowling stuff, right? Like you can go and you can run the pro shop and you can drill balls and you actually have a day where you're not working but you still go bowling, right?
Well, I did. It's done now. League's over, but yeah.
Oh, okay. But you just still have a night where you can just go and
No, I'm
throw
not
some
gonna,
balls.
I'm not going to do that.
Really?
No.
Not even to keep yourself sharp?
I'm going to be on a submarine. It's not like we have a 4-lane alley on the submarine.
You don't have those?
No, we're not carriers.
Okay. For all you dual warfare qualled sailors out there, he's throwing shade.
For all you dual warfare qualled, submarines were first, bitches.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're about to go. Yeah, you're in the submarine. So
No, I'm actually in the process of like trying to consolidate what I have, sell what I have, because bowling balls have a shelf life.
right. Oh, do they really?
Neither here nor there, but yes.
Like an expiration date? Certain amount of throws and they're done?
How nerdy do you want me to get on this?
Not at all nerdy.
All right.
Give me
So,
the TLDR.
The longer a bowling ball sits, the more likely it is to crack.
Interesting. Is that because it's what it's made out of?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are chemicals that are added to the bowling ball.
Nothing.
Chemicals that are added
Just
to the
checking the
bowling
chat.
ball that make it softer.
Oh.
Those chemicals are volatile.
Right.
So they will actually evaporate out of the cover stock over time,
Okay.
which makes the cover stock harder.
Right. Which makes it more
Brittle.
brittle.
That's the word you were thinking of. I saw it on the tip of your lip.
I was going to say it and I was like, maybe that's not the right word.
No, you were right.
Because I was like, wait, harder doesn't necessarily always mean.
Stronger.
Right.
Harder means brittle.
Right.
So it gets more brittle, and if I have holes drilled in a bowling ball, it makes it more susceptible to cracking as it gets more brittle with age.
So you got to get rid of these things so that somebody can get some use out of them.
I don't have to get rid of them. There's nothing saying that they will crack.
Can you re-up it?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've bought a couple of new bowling balls that I have stashed,
Right.
that I have sealed in bags to keep the chemicals like contained.
Right.
But no. So I'm trying to sell off some of the ones that I have, just consolidate what I have and
Yeah.
get down. Like, at least you gave me a limit of 12. I'm hoping to be under that. Hoping.
That's the compromise.
I love you.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole gig at this point. Your new parents, and it's figuring out how you can be both the parent of this kid and keep yourselves amidst all of it. And you kind of have to be each other's checks and balances, right? Like,
honestly, Alicia has done a fantastic job with that.
dude, she's the shit.
She is.
She
I
really
love her
is.
so much.
Yeah. You should.
I know I should.
You're getting points right now. Whether or not she's commenting, you're getting points.
Nah, I'm gonna get home. She's gonna be like, "So
What
what
the
did
fuck?
what did you do that you're like buttering me up?" I'm joking.
I mean, man, as far as I'm concerned, she did a great job taking care of you while you were under the weather.
She did fantastic.
I saw a post about her going through all the things and making you soup while you were dying.
Oh man, I woke up 4 times.
I know. I messaged you. I was like, "Did you get that, Rona?"
I got the shot at like 6 p.m. 6:30. Went to bed at like 11:30 midnight. I felt fine. Woke up between 3 and 4 times throughout the night. Where like, ugh, this beer's not sitting well in my stomach. It's that G-Bot one.
Yep.
Where like you have a fever and it breaks.
Yeah, and you get the sweats.
Well, you had the sweats from the fever, but then the fever breaks, so now you're damp and you're cold.
Yeah.
So I woke up like 3 or 4 times between.
The sheets are cold and damp. Oh,
I woke up somewhere between 3 and 4 times between midnight and 7 a.m. And that's when my alarm went off because we feed Bug 9 Eve at like 8-ish.
right.
And she looks at me and she's like, "Can you do it?" And I'm just,
I'm
fucking
dead.
freezing, and I'm like, no. And it,
Oh no.
like, I felt fine after like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
But like, it hurt to lay in bed just because like it hurt to be touched.
Yeah, that kind of. Well, did you take your temperature?
The one time I took it, I think Alicia read it at like 99.8.
Isn't that crazy? The older you get, like, you don't need much of a temperature to feel like fucking shit.
I normally run in like the low to mid 97s.
Oh shit! So you run cold.
Yeah, I run cold, and so does Alicia.
So 99 for you is like blazing.
So a high 99, that's a fever for me.
Yeah. Well, even for me, a high 99, like a 100, like if I'm 99.9, I'm feeling pretty rough.
Yeah.
100, 100.5, I'm on the floor. I'm done.
Oh, did Alicia leave us?
Somebody did. It's okay. They probably know we're about to wrap up.
Alicia got sick of me talking shit on her.
We haven't been talking shit. We've been saying great things.
I think that, and then I'm going to get yelled at.
Nah, you'll be fine. I'll stand up for you. I got your back.
Aw, you're so sweet.
I'm the sweetest.
I love my twin fillet.
Dude, I think you're going to be fine. You're going to go underway. You're going to figure out how to be. It's probably going to be the same.
Dude.
Right? Like, it's not like you can talk to your kid.
It's
You know
not
what I
like
mean?
she can talk back.
Right. It's not like she can talk. That's what I was saying. Like, they're like puppies at this point. Like, they're just so. Just keep them alive and make sure they're good. Like, you know what I mean? Feed them. That's really what it's about. It really is. And then so your relationship with her is kind of that right now. It's like, oh well, we just got to make sure that you're fed and you've shit. And we change your diaper, like. But when they get older, when they're like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that's when you really start to have a back and forth relationship. And makes
that's
it
something
really
that,
difficult.
like, we're happy with the timing with.
Yeah.
Like, I should be done with this boat, depending on whether or not I make chief, depending on how that entire fucking bullshit goes.
Yeah.
She'll be 3 to 4.
Well, I mean, this enlistment, right? You'll be 16 years in. She'll be roughly 6.
Yep.
When you're eligible for retirement, she'll be roughly 10.
Yep.
That's pretty fucking solid, man.
She won't be in high school.
Nope.
She might be in middle school.
10?
Yeah.
No.
So we'll be able,
5th grade.
wherever we decide to end our lives, that's a weird way to put that. Wherever we decide to
End our lives.
Plant roots after Navy life.
Right.
She won't be in middle school yet. She won't be in high school.
She'll be close to middle school, depending on where you're at.
She'll be able to go into a new area, not like completely starting over, but at a young enough age to like it's not going to affect her that much.
Right.
And that's one of the things we were planning on when it's like, this is the time we want to start and we want to try.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
We got to do this again, bro.
Yeah. Bink. You can see it on your cam. Wait. It'll be interesting. I should have you back after you've been underway for a while. You know what I mean? Just to get a little bit of a perspective.
Let's do that.
Right? Like, 2-3 days, not a big deal. I'm looking for like a deployment. I need to get you back after deployment. Then really,
why don't we start with a short one before the deployment?
we'll be in talks because like that's when it's gonna get. That's the test, right? Like being away for a significant amount of time.
Well,
That's the test. If it's just 2 days, whatever, man. That's nothing.
how about this? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
You go away for 2-3 days, whatever. That's nothing.
I know.
I'm looking at like you've been gone for 3-4 months. What's it like? How did you fucking survive on the boat without your kid, without talking to your wife, without blah blah blah? And then how did you fucking reintegrate? That's the interesting shit.
Why are baby cuddles so amazing?
Dude, baby cuddles are amazing because babies smell like babies. It's the smell, that's part of it. Okay? That's a big part of it. And then that cute little baby breath of them breathing on you.
Oh, it's not even that. Like when I put Bug up on my shoulder and she just like drapes her arms around me, just like puts the head down.
That 100% relaxed body on top of you, that little tiny little baby body
Fucking
on top
wonderful.
of you, just 100%. And you can feel them too. You can feel them just like, every muscle in their body goes limp. That's the shit.
Yes.
I know.
Well, how about this? Why don't we plan? I'm sure we'll do this more than 2 more times.
Probably.
Let's plan for at least 2 more. I know how submarine schedules go. Like, I'm going to have a decent underway, and then I'll be home for a short amount of time, and then I'll deploy. And then I'll get back from deployment. And why don't we plan on doing one
Like right before or something?
right before and right after? That way we'll have a difference between like, hey, you've been underway for a couple of weeks, a couple of months now at this point. Like, you know what it's like to be away from your daughter. How are you prepping for a deployment away from her?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Cheers.
It's going to be good. All right, folks.
Son of a
Look at
bitch.
you throwing beer all over my office.
I thought your arm was longer.
This fucking guy.
I wanted them to hear the cheer.
It wasn't going to make a sound. Microphones are directional. These microphones are very directional. So if you're not in front of it, you don't fucking hear it. Right?
It's fucking black magic.
It's not black magic. It's a fucking microphone.
You know, we use these same style microphones, at least like the crystals inside them on fucking submarines.
They're not crystals, man. These are diaphragms. Sound
Sound-powered telephone, bitch.
power phones. Those are dynamic microphones, aren't they? They have to be because no, hear me out. A dynamic microphone is literally a really thin membrane, just like your eardrum.
Yep.
And when sound pressure hits it, it fucking vibrates.
Yep.
And there's a thing connected to it that turns it into positives and negatives, which turns it into positive and negative electricity.
You're wrong.
That's how these work.
Well, right, but that's not how a sound-powered telephone works.
I've never worked on a sound power.
We'll discuss that when we finish up these drinks and have a cigarette.
All right. Here we go.
Deuces, everyone.
Which button do I push?
The OFF button.
Where's my mouse? There it is. I'm going to pull this over here so I can see it. Here it is. This is the outro stuff.
Outro?